Is that?
Okay, we're good. Hello, friends. We're live.
Starting
from
early.
Ashland, Ohio. Bud playing field at Archer Arrows Park. It's a beautiful, crisp day at the ball yard. We have some amazing baseball on tap for you. Hope you sit back, enjoy, with limited commercial interruption, brought to us by our friends at Bill Harris Dealerships, Bo Lacey Construction, and Simonson Construction. I'll be your host today, Chris Mowry, joined alongside by my friend manning the 16th, 17th, and 15th fairway, in addition to the towers at 16 and 17, Brandon Wells. Good to have you, BW.
I'm glad to be here. It's a beautiful day. Happy to be bringing Arrows baseball, a tradition like no other.
It has a chance. Yes, sir!
Listen, we are excited to be here calling baseball. It's the Generals and the Arrows in an OCC matchup. And really, the Arrows come in, Chris, off to a great start, 5-0. Wooster playing well as well. And, they're the OCC favorite coming into today. And it's, we were supposed to play yesterday. We were supposed to play Monday. Everything's kind of got pushed back. It's Ohio. And so far, weather has not cooperated this week, but it looks like we're going to get this one in today on the front end of a potential home and home in the weirdest of ways. Worcester's Field's not ready yet, so in theory, if we're able to play tomorrow, it will be another home game for the Arrows, except we'll be the visiting team tomorrow.
Yeah, something that doesn't happen very often, but hats off to Wooster. They're getting field laid down at their ballpark and getting a lot of new enhancements. The backstop is going to be new. It's going to look just like ours, which would be really, really cool. And, they just ran into weather, let's be honest. It's been a little wet spring and snow, about a week ago, so dealing with that.
Yeah, it's out of our control, right?
Yeah.
There's some things that we just cannot control, and the weather is one of them. And as somebody who coached a long time in Northeast Ohio and in North Central Ohio, it feels like sometimes spring baseball is like purgatory for baseball coaches.
Purgatory?
Yeah,
that's a big word, bud.
Yeah, I know that's a tough one. It sounds like a bar you might have went to back in the 80s or 90s.
No, it's on Broadway down in Nashville.
I know. But the Arrows coming out with Tyler Holt today and throwing one of their top guys, obviously, and looking for success early. In a game like this, Chris, you want to make sure that you get ahead early. You come out here, you throw a zero, hopefully, right, and that's hard. You got a really good lineup on the other side. It's a veteran team, although they lost some guys, but they've got a bunch of D1 recruits.
Oh yeah, they're solid. Don't forget about that, and don't worry about Worcester's ability to play baseball. Hey, today's game is brought to you by Sarver Paving, and you're watching on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network. And today's game, as always, brought to you by Hedstrom Entertainment, having unplugged fun for over 100 years. You're joining us on the Countdown to First Pitch pregame show, brought to you by your hometown vision leader, Ashland Eye Care, proud AHS alum Dan Denbo, and his team will handle all of your vision needs. And it's becoming commonplace, BW. Yeah, we're in the Pre-Stiller Broadcast booth. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back from the Pre-Stiller Broadcast booth right after this.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Welcome back to Bud Plank Field at Archer Arrows Park. I'm Chris Mowry, joined alongside by Brandon Wells and Wickham and Hess, second inning guest.
Oh, my.
Now in the pregame, and joining us for all 7 innings is my good friend Zach Truax, who has a moniker of nicknames, and as he knows, I deliver nicknames to anybody, and it's VOTF. Yeah. Zach, do you want to tell everybody what that means, or you want me to?
You explain it.
Okay, VOTF is very simple, Voice of the Falcons. Zach is a Redbird through and through still to this day, but he chose to raise his kids and family here, and we're happy he did it in Ashland and sent both of his children and now grandkids through Ashland City Schools. But in Zach and I's youth, I'm a Falcon, he's a Redbird, and those two schools were oil and water, didn't really care for each other. And if you've watched high school football this fall, you'll notice on the OH report that Zach has been play-by-play analyst on a lot of games, and he drew the Falcons BW not once, but 6 times.
6 times.
So he's
I wasn't keeping track. It was 6 times.
Don't worry, right. Your good buddy over here to your left was. Yeah, I kept track. But
he made sure. It was like the highlight of the day every time he got to say it.
So where it came from, the Danville game, they had the Danville voice of the Danville team, and you were the Falcons. And the OH report people literally wrote in the comments, there's nobody biased today. We've got the voice of the Falcons, Zach Truax. So I screenshot that thing and I said, it is on like Donkey Kong. So here we are. Good to have you, buddy. Glad you joined us. And first and foremost, thanks for all your support of us. You and their company support Zach, Brandon, and I's efforts all the way through all season. So appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, you guys do a great thing. I love the broadcast, especially in these spring sports.
Yeah.
The weather, you don't know whether it's going to be a rain out, a snow out, a flood out, whatever. So grandma and grandpa a lot of times can't make the hour trip in. So you guys bring the broadcast to everybody, and it just promotes our athletes, our facilities, our coaches. It's just a great thing.
Yeah, you're right, and we're just glad to be able to be bringing baseball to everybody this spring, and we're also thankful for some heat back here. Look at this beautiful backdrop we have as well, and baseball has been part of your life, Zach, for a long time with Ethan and your family, and Arrows baseball means something to you as well.
It certainly does, Ethan. Like Chris mentioned, after I graduated from Ashland University, set down roots here in Ashland. Ethan started playing baseball with Chris's boy Camden. I think in like kindergarten or something.
Wow. Yeah, it was Nankin.
Yeah, listen, baseball was just supposed to be this thing to get us from football season. From wrestling season to football season. That's all baseball was supposed to be. Right? Like I just told my wife, just sign him up for any baseball team. I don't care.
This is only going to last a year or two.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be done playing baseball in the middle school anyways, and my son ends up, hates wrestling but loved baseball, and his mentality, his personality fit baseball really well, much better than wrestling. So, yeah, I watched a lot of baseball games and have learned a lot from both you guys over the years, so really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Today's injury report brought to us by our friends at Goldberry Roasting, Ashland's locally owned and award-winning coffee shop right here in Ashland. And the way it's going, BW, with those guys, they're expanding like weeds, man. They're doing a great job. And if you haven't been there, you're new to town or whatever, go check them out.
I just got a call from a friend of mine talking about I think it was called the cherry pie cappuccino. No, we're not talking Linway. Cherry cappuccino. She said, "Oh, you got to come over and get this, Wellesley." And I said, "Well, I'll do what I can."
Was the pie packed inside, or the thing packed inside the Yeti?
Well,
Goldberry Yeti.
Listen, someday, I'll get a full-on Goldberry Yeti.
Yeah.
Well, who also serves Goldberry coffee in Ashland?
I do. Truax Printing?
The Venerable Bree Truax at the Lyceum in Ashland.
The Lyceum Cafe, they serve Goldberry coffee.
That's right.
Yeah, it's popular.
Starting lineups being introduced here to the home crowd. We're going to take a short break and rejoin the other side for the national anthem.
Ashland Arrows.
31, Michael.
Welcome back to
Fry.
Mud Playing Field at Archer Arrows Park. Let's get a quick look at our starting lineups. Brought to us by our friends at Bill Harris Dealerships with locations in Ashland and Loudonville. Chevrolet to Ford to Dodge to Jeep and quality pre-owned vehicles. Check them out with dealerships in Ashland and Loudonville.
Mangus, Franz, and Hickey left to right in the outfield. Farnsworth, Grissinger, Bryant, and Summers left to right on the infield dirt. Tyler Holt on the mound, and Tanner Wolf will do the catching today for the Arrows.
Excited to see Tyler Holt on the bump. I saw him warm up a little bit here when I walked in, but it'll be good to see the big strapping senior toe the rubber against a team, let's be honest, that we haven't beaten in about 5 years. And if the Arrows want to take a climb up the OCC ladder, you've got to dethrone the team that you haven't beat, and they've got that opportunity in front of them today.
Really do, and we want to thank our friends at Truly Inspired Paper Company for sponsoring our weather. It is cold. Chance of rain not until 7 or 8. We think we've dodged the rain here, but it still could happen. We'll see. It's just a slight chance. Feels like 40 degrees. 47 overall windy, 15-mile-an-hour winds, up to 20 to 25 in the gusts. It's chilly, but it's playable out here. Much better than yesterday, and that's all we can hope for today. Today's weather is brought to you by Truly Inspired Paper Company.
Listen, the truth is I've played or coached a lot worse weather. And Zach will talk to us a little bit later about the weather we played baseball in April. It was awful. We'll break here for the national anthem. Welcome back to the countdown to first pitch, presenting by Ashland Eye Care. The national anthem was brought to us by Sarver Paving, like they do every home game. We thank them for their sponsorship all season long. Let's get a quick look at the keys to the game, brought to us by Whitaker Myers, providing solutions for your insurance, benefits, and wealth management needs since 1869. Offices in Ashland and Wooster.
Got to play a clean game today. That's it. I mean, look, it sounds like a broken record, but when you're playing a team that has a little more talent, and they do, this Wooster team is a loaded group. You have to come out and play a clean game defensively behind Tyler Holt. Got to get ahead early and throw strikes. And, you know, it's the basics every time we talk about it at the high school level when it comes to baseball. Throw strikes, make plays. And then on the offensive side, Chris, put the ball in play. Make Wooster make plays, right? The infield grass, you know, is going to be a little choppy today, right? I mean, it's just from the weather, and it's early in the season, so you're not sure what kind of bounces you're going to get. Run everything out. Put the ball in play somehow to get Bowen uncomfortable on the mound.
What about you, Zach?
Yeah, Brandon, it's a broken record like every game. It's high school baseball. Put the ball in play. I've always said, and I used to smart off to Chris a lot when he's telling me how important pitching was. I said, I've never seen a team win by having more strikeouts, but I've seen them win every time by having more runs. You know, you win by scoring runs. Yeah. Put the ball in play, and more importantly, get on base.
Yeah.
Get on base. Any way you can, get on base.
Whatever it takes. Find a way. You know, you get that ball in play, and good things happen.
You know, a team like Wooster, you can't make more than 2 mistakes and still expect to win, I don't think.
Yeah, good point, Zach.
You know, and so you got to play your sharpest game at the beginning of the year, and you wonder, you know, you guys can tell me, does the coaching staff have this thing ironed out yet to where they've got their stalwart to where they need to play?
Coaching matchup, speaking of, head coach Steve Young coming off lots of success year after year at the helm of the Wooster Generals. And then for our hometown Arrows, Rick Goff, who's entering his 35th season of coaching baseball here inside the Ashland City Schools District, are the captains of their respective squads. First pitch brought to us by Varsity Construction.
Handling all your roofing, siding, deck, bath remodel, and window replacement needs. Experience you can trust, done right on time. Varsity Construction.
Center fielder Hayden Meese digs into the right-handed batter's box. He'll look at the first offering from Tyler Holt, and he does. Lets it go by him on a strike on the right side of the plate.
Holt fastball, slider, changeup, and a sinker, so he can really mix it up.
Decent day. Farnsworth playing just at the cut of the grass at third base, taking away the bunt or making it much more difficult for Meese. There's a tremendous breaking ball across 0-2.
Boy, what's the batting average of high school kids at 0-2, I wonder?
About 0.68.
It's got to be tough.
I think at every level, right? It is. You get down 0-2. Now you got to, you don't want to mess around though. Holt
Nothing
didn't like
that
the
you
original
can hit.
call.
I'm going Shatter up.
He's on top of the plate. I'd go up and in, push him back, and then come back with that breaking ball.
0-2 offering outside, looking for a nibble. Meese does a good job laying off that. Now 1-2.
Not a bad spot right there, outside corner. But Meese is up on top of the plate.
Well, that first pitch was on the outside corner, but I tell you what, go down 0-2 now, and you hate the fact you looked at that first pitch.
Well outside, 2-2 now. The count, so Meese works it back to flat, just about in his favor.
Meese, 3-year starter, going to play football at Davidson, and he hit .458 last year. That's fair.
That's nice. Where'd you get that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I do my homework.
Shoot. I
Where?
was not here last time, and I heard all about the homework. Let's be honest.
Where is Davidson?
North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte, and it's a beautiful country. I had a friend who played tennis there, Steph Curry. That's the Steph Curry land. That's where he went to college.
D1.
D1?
D1.
Yep, D1.
Yeah.
Now, for football, I think they're
One-
FCS, right?
one double
Okay.
A or whatever they
Well,
use to
still,
call
it's
it these
D1.
days.
Oh,
No
that's
kidding.
high level.
It's a great education. It's like a Michigan school academically, Zach.
Oh,
There's
my.
a swing and a miss, strike three, first
gave
out
it
of the
to him.
inning.
Great job by Holt, getting ahead early, working the corners, nothing down the meat of the plate, and going right at him. I love it.
That strikeout brought to us by our friends at Sid Suds. Soft power washing with superheated water. Sid Suds. Check them out right here in Ashland.
I was reading a little bit about that superheated power washing today, and it is a fantastic approach, and they're going to close the gate down there in right field. A little slight delay. Umpires checking that out, and Jeff Hickey doing some maintenance out there on the gate.
I think he just took his ball glove and beat down on top of the ratchet thing up there at the top.
Ratchet thing, that's a technical term.
Ratchet thing, yeah.
Thought you were handy, Maury.
I am handy. One away for Holt is two-hole hitter and left-handed hitter Ben Wing steps in today's shortstop. Shows bunt, nobody there. Farnsworth charging, nice job. Summers at first, and Bryant doing his job at second base, running to first to cover.
Yeah, Ben's a 4-year starter, Akron commit. Lost most of last season to an injury, so happy to have him back are the Generals. Considering they went to the regional final, I believe, and regional semi and lost to Twinsburg, who eventually ended up in the state title game and lost. So this Wooster squad really reloaded. They're ready to go.
Every year.
You know what? When
That's a program, not a team.
we were following this, when I was following Ashland baseball, this was the game you circled every year. Every year, this was the game you circled. This is the measuring stick if you're Ashland baseball.
Nice pitch right here by Holt on the little outside corner there. Versus Sarver Paving.
And ahead in the count is Winge at 2-1. Holt rocks and fires. Just misses down and away, now 3-1. Winge is not a guy you want to put on base. He can flat out pick him up and put him down.
No, but I think that was a really nice 2-1 pitch. Just missed outside. Might have been a change. He took something off. Against left-handers, sometimes righties like to throw that changeup that moves away from them.
Anybody out there wants to sponsor a
Cue ball.
gun out there in center field, a pitch radar speed,
gun, to be
radar
clear.
gun, that would be appreciated.
Well, what we really want would be a center field camera.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
that's the thing that will unlock this whole show for baseball.
All right, I'll
but-
get that. I'll fix it. I'll figure that out.
Okay.
Full count. Big pitch here for Holt to stay clean so far in the game. Nice pitch. Rolled him over. Holt does his job, covers first. Summers, the hold, he's got him!
Oh,
No!
safe. And
We're going to get an appeal here momentarily.
I think they're going to ask him maybe. You can see it right here on the replay, guys, at first base. And it was tough to see if Tyler had his foot on first base, and that's what the field umpire thought he missed it. And what happened was, I thought he hit it the first time, but anytime you go back to hit it and it looks like then you're almost giving yourself up. It's like a defensive back who puts his hands up, says, oh, I didn't do anything, right, on a PI call.
Well, we're saying and suggesting it's not discussable because the home plate umpire asked the field umpire, and you can see him out there doing his best imitation of a Michael Jackson dance move with that
now they're going to
left
talk.
foot.
They're going to talk, and that is one where that's one of the very few calls where a home plate or a field ump can ask the home plate ump if the foot touched the bag or if it came off. But it's a tough call from 90 feet away for the home plate ump
Look,
to see one.
guys, I saw it from 140. With glasses. I'm not as good at vision with glasses, but I saw it.
Christopher.
All right, anyways. So we've got...
You want to see it again?
Yeah, let's see it again.
There it is.
Holt does his job, covers first. Summers,
I don't know, Chris.
I don't know. There was a bounce.
Either way, really nice job, though, over at first by Summers getting over. Holt making the play over there, and I think that's an infield single, but they're gonna say it's an error. Well, we're going with an error up here.
Who said that?
That's what the scoreboard just
said. That was
said.
a tough bounce. It was a
How's
high
it say?
bounce, and
it showed
beautiful
error.
bunt.
You're not bunting with a 3-hole here, Zach. I don't disagree, but you're not doing it. McMillan steps in the right fielder hitting a 3-hole with somebody on base.
Official scorer is so out there where it says H/E. There was an E up there, so whoever was scoring it down here for us,
Why
it
don't
popped
we
up as
show
an E.
error out there,
Well, because
arrows to the
that
right?
doesn't show up, I think, until the end of the inning.
Yeah.
And it accumulates at the end of the inning.
Wow. Holt in the stretch. Wind shows
Good job by Wolf.
fake steal, but holds down. He would have had that one standing up.
And it's first time, obviously, here in the first inning where Tyler is in the stretch. You know, he went first two guys from the windup, and it's just a different look.
Okay, I love the hit error debate. I could bring up 4 or 5 plays. Ethan was rung up on the air, looked just like that. So, I mean, I don't care. I would call it a hit, but
I'm giving him a hit.
Well, I will tell you,
but I can see how it can be scored either way.
Well, we almost had an error because the computer that runs the whole broadcast just tried to run an update and restart the whole thing.
That's
So
an issue.
That would have been an error.
I said abort all updates, but we'll see. So
Abort. It's like the
Yeah,
Apollo landing. Abort.
Chris,
Ashland,
they
we have
got
a
it up as an
problem.
error now.
They sure do. So let me change.
Got him. They got him.
got him.
Holt picks him off first base. Winge. Retire.
Here's the replay, courtesy of Sarver Paving. Big lead, caught him leaning just a little bit. That little shuffle.
Yeah.
That little shuffle cost him.
If an umpire makes a call like that he might want back, you better not give him an opportunity to ring you up because he's going to get you. And now we're all even.
1-1 to count on 3-hole hitter Aiden McMillan. Base is now empty. Great pitch by Holt on the outside
Let's take a
part
look
of
at
the
that
plate.
again, guys. Here it is again. And he just shuffled right at the start of that. And a really quick move by Tyler Holt, the Clarion commit.
The ball don't lie.
And Winge, you're going to play his college baseball
Oops.
out at Akron. There's a little check me. Holt over to Summers, and the Generals retired. In order, we head to the bottom of the first. Arrows batting lineup brought to us by our friends at Bill Harris Dealerships.
Michael Franz leaves it off out there in center field. Jeff Hickey, who has played really well out in right field, also doing some maintenance out on the fence. Alex Grissinger, the senior, going up to play his baseball in Lake Erie, playing shortstop, hitting third. A.J. Workman, the Mapleton transfer, a DH today. He's eligible for half of the season as the transfer. Trent Summers playing first base, looking good over there, hitting in the 5-hole. Nick Mangus, who's hit the ball real well, playing left field today. Miles Farnsworth gets the start over at third. Jake Bryant, who's had a hot bat, will get the start at second. And Tanner Wolf will get the call behind the plate, hitting ninth.
This Arrows squad team batting average 383. More importantly, team on-base percentage is smooth 500. You get on base every other man, you're going to score runs, 1 and 2. That's going to lead to a lot of wins. These Arrows have 5 on the campaign early.
I don't think I've seen an Ashland baseball player make the kind of strides in his 3 or 4 years that Michael Franz has.
Yeah, that's a good, fair point. He's gotten better every year, and he is a dangerous player right now. That Bowen's first pitch outside. He called it a strike?
Yeah, he called it a strike.
And there was 2 things wrong with that. Number 1, it was outside, and a catcher dropped it. But now you know maybe he's going to call that outside corner.
Sorry, Zach, go ahead. You're talking about Franz.
Yeah, I mean, the strides that he's taken every year, it's almost like a different ball player every year. He's that much better compared to the year before.
Boy, Brady Bowen brings some gas. He throws the ball well, and it's smooth and fluid, and it looks effortless. He's going from the stretch.
Good job there. Everybody
Heads
in the
up.
park
Heads up, young
except
man.
Franz and myself thought a hook was coming, and Franz, good job just getting a piece of that off the left side.
I think one of Coach Goff's grandkids out there would better be paying attention down there in the bullpen because that ball was coming at him hot out there.
0-2 the count on Franz. Bowen, in addition to that, heater's got a tremendous spinner pitch. That one's outside. A little tail on that one on the outside part of the right-hander batter's box.
Yeah, almost like a screwball. That ball had a lot of away action on it. And you can see even when he's grabbing it, he almost starts with that change grip because it's the hardest one to switch into. That's a breaking ball, a hard one on the outside corner, and a little too far out there.
Go ahead.
I love the energy coming from the Ashland dugout. Between innings, they came out. They're high-fiving the guys coming off the field. There's body language and enthusiasm is so important in big games like this.
Franz rolls it over to Grazer at first or second base and retires Franz to Nielsen at first. So 1 up, 1 down for the Arrows. How to bring in 2-hole hitter Jeff Hickey.
And defensively for the Generals, Lukowski and left, Meeson center, Backstrom and right. Martinez, Winge, Newberger, and Lamb around the infield. Bowen on the mound and Lapp behind the plate for the Generals.
Jeff Hickey hitting 286 on the season. Swings of that spinner pitch out in the left-handed batter's box to get behind the count of 1. That's not a spinner pitch is what you're thinking. I know.
That was a beauty. And it's coming out of the same release point. That's the key right there.
Pull it up the middle. The no-hitter's gone through 2 hitters.
That was a rope. And I think Bowen's probably going to regret the fact that he came back with a fastball right there because Hickey was still sitting red. He made him look foolish. I might have doubled up on that one and come right back. But, he came with the heat. Hickey drives it right up the middle for a base hit.
Well, Brandon, Zach and I have been playing baseball against the Bowens since our kids were about 9. Guess what, Zach? There's another one coming.
I never played.
Oh, yeah.
I watched, but yeah. We ran up against them a lot. They're talented and tough competitors, and
good kids.
they don't back down and they don't slow down.
Hickey at first base.
A good lead over there for Hickey.
Chris ahead in the count 1-0. If you're just joining us, you'll have to hit rewind after this game concludes because we had the Dynamite Open. We do it every season during Masters Week, and it was our best yet.
I think it was painful. Maybe just for me.
Yeah, I thought I'd fallen into the NPR broadcast or something.
Jazz on jazz. Our listeners really like jazz, we have found.
Thank you for lunch. Could
rough.
I have a pecan ice cream sandwich and an egg salad? And I'll have a Master's lemonade, please.
Sitting in for Chris Mowry is Zach Truax, who's sitting in for Chris Mowry.
It's awful. It's just awful.
Chris way up 2-0. Swings of that one well outside. Now 2-1. It's all right.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was like a cut, a lot of motion, a lot of movement on that fastball going away.
And now Gris turned back and looked at the umpire and said, without a strike, and the umpire shook his head yes. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you sometimes umpires give guys the benefit of the doubt that are almost like the star calls that we used to talk about in the NBA, but a lot of movement on that.
I just prefer strikes are strikes and balls are balls. I don't care who's up.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Nobody's disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you the truth of how that works.
Well, I'm just arguing. Like what
I've
I'd
been
like
in
to
this
see.
dugout plenty, and I'm telling you that's what happens.
Yeah. Hickey on a move. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Strike him out.
He's there.
Throw him out. 2 missed calls on the K. And a unconventional double play retires the Arrows in order. We'll be right back for the top of the second.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Tyler Holt, today's player profile presented by Ashland's hometown law office leader, Andrew Bush. Check out Andrew Bush for all your needs concerning law, whether it be wills or estate planning.
I still need one.
That's why I say it every time.
I'm going to die at some point. We all die. Nobody gets out of here alive, so I do need to get one. I will tell you, when I look at this, there's a couple things that stand out. Number one, Mr. Mario Kart's an awesome dude, but I will say, what stands out to me is the mustache. If I had a telestrator, I would be circling the mustache.
Mustache.
Right? Yeah, I mean, my son's 13. I think his is better than this. It's close. It's close, Tyler. It's close, T. It's close, my man. It's close.
Beating him up.
Well, he's smart. Favorite food, steak. We'll end it there. And lots of other good things. Had a great football season for
He's
that ledge.
He's not a freaking vegan?
No, thank goodness.
Do you know what that is?
No, I'm going to pass because
Okay.
that's too close for the VOTF. He could take that the wrong way and deliver something inappropriate. But
All right.
great football season by Tyler Holt.
Yeah.
12-1 campaign. Historic defense. The best in school history, frankly, the last 2 years.
Was really great at the end and coming off that linebacker spot. I'll tell you also, I really enjoyed the fact that he said he really loves the PlayStation, MLB The Show, an amazing game. And there's actually a lot of things that, like, I think you can learn. Kids can learn a lot by playing those baseball games and by watching the game too.
Watching the game more than anything.
Agreed. But it's still kind of a cool thing to like keep your mind on the game, I would say.
Yeah.
Top of the second inning and the first inning and the third. Zach, you catching a trend? And the fifth and the sixth and the seventh. Brought to us by our friends at Comfort Control. We appreciate Joe Reap and his team for all their support of Aero Athletics.
His team was at my house yesterday working on some plumbing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they got it fixed up. They did a great job. I had some problems. We'll just say it that way, and they took care of it. Yeah, I was happy. They were really polite, clean, took care of business.
I'd recommend sending Joe an email. Let him know that. Any business owner likes to hear when their
Joe's
employees
watching.
have
What
done
else
a
has he gotta do?
fantastic job.
Joe
I like
doesn't have
coaching
anything.
baseball.
He's got nothing else to do right now.
Joe's got. I don't know
Joe's
where he
got a lot
finds
of
the
things to
hours.
do.
That's a joke, people.
I don't know where he finds the hours. That guy.
I don't know if Joe sleeps.
Today's first baseman for the General, Sam Nielsen, 4-hole hitter and first baseman, is up and down in the count now, 1-2 to Holt.
Took over the Booster Club president, main Booster Club president job. That's got a huge responsibility.
It really is.
To get that ship righted.
And it's a thankless job, in so many ways. Nice change up, away. That was a beauty. Take a look at the Sarver paving replay on this. Set him up nice, and then sets him up away. Took something off of it. And a lot of movement.
Sits strikeout number 2 for Tyler Holt. And coming up, today's pitcher, Brady Bowen, hitting in the 5-hole. And if you're wondering if young Bowen is just an arm or that's it, answer, nope. He good, and he can swing it as well.
Another Akron commit, 4-year starter, 7-2 last year. That's fouled off. Where'd that go, Chris?
Short of $7 Creek, so we'll get that baseball back in play.
Boy, the best hitters are always just so aggressive at the beginning of the count.
Attack.
I love
You're
it.
thinking fastball, spit on anything off speed until you get 2 strikes, and then you're going to shorten up a little bit and fight stuff off if you have to. But
Yeah.
you're still looking fastball, even then with 2 strikes. That's a beautiful off-speed pitch, fouled off, and Bowen spoiled a good one.
No, that's in the unused batting cage, Brandon. We're now $14 ahead. 0-2 the count on Bowen.
Be interesting to see the adjustment Holt makes here.
I'm
When I
throwing
used
a
to
breaking ball in the dirt here is what I'm doing. A hard breaking ball. You went
Well
fastball
outside.
away.
Oh,
That's a
that's been a
strike
strike a couple times. That's been a strike a couple times. I think it might have been a little too high.
You can get away with either high or up, but not high. Or I'm sorry, high and out, but not both. You can get away with one or the other.
1-2 offering. Spinner pitch hit right back up the
that's a nice
box.
hit.
And great piece of hitting by Bowen. He'll have a 1-out base runner, will head coach Steve Young.
And you're going to see this on the replay. Holt's 1-2 pitch just
Offering
caught
spinner
too
pitch hit
much
right
of the
back
plate
up
on a
the box.
curveball, and he's actually lucky that was only a single up the middle because that was a bit of a hang 'em bang 'em kind of situation. But I think he wanted to throw a strike, and instead, man, you got to be able to break that one off on a 1-2 pitch.
I think he had the mentality of doing what you wanted and spiking it. It just started up in the slot a little bit too high and didn't have a chance to drive down.
Yeah,
There is a leadoff and a half.
Oh, my.
That's how we get leads in high school baseball right there.
Aggressive. I like it.
Left fielder A.J. Lekowski steps in the box. Bowen was leaning back towards first base, and he dives back in safely.
You know, with these guys that throw high 80s and into the 90s, I've played some first base. Like, when they step
It's a
off
seed,
to
man.
throw it
It's a
over,
seed.
you're like, oh, God, please throw this. Don't throw this at my face.
Can you imagine catching one of those from an angry Roger Clemens?
No.
Or Nolan Ryan?
No, I mean, I've caught some from guys that throw in the 90s, but nothing quite to that level.
That's an obnoxious level of heat from either one of those two men. Farnsworth up on the cut at third base.
I'm going to say the first base coach was a wrestler at some point in his life.
He's got big hams.
But he's down in the defensive stance, right? Like he's in his wrestling stance right away.
He was. Yeah, he's getting there, and we'll see.
Yeah, he's got his hands on his knees a little
he's
too
ready.
much, but yeah, he's down
He's
there.
ready. He's ready.
When I teased it, Zach, you liked the tweet. There was one point in that note that I wrote that most listeners are unfamiliar with.
Oh,
My
boy.
broadcast partner as well.
Oh, boy.
Can
The monkey
we
dunk?
get into defining a monkey
A
dunk?
monkey dunk?
Is that a legal thing to talk about on the air?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, is it going to get us in trouble?
I don't think so.
Oh, boy.
That's
He's got a
wild
shot
pitch.
at him.
Oh, throws a heater! In there safely. That's the Norma Foundation backstop. You don't know how it's going to come off, but it's still coming off hard. And good job by Wolf to turn around and find it, and it ended up right in the mitt.
Yeah, beautiful job. He barehanded too, coming off the wall. He barehanded and gunned it, made it semi-close. No, but that's when you just, you dunk someone on the mat. You pick him up and you slam him down. Make him wish they weren't going to get back up again.
Sounds terrible.
It does.
Oh,
Only
what a
loved
pitch.
by a true wrestler.
3-0, first base open. And you got Brian Lapp, the catcher, on deck.
I just got a notification in my car when I was driving here. I think I need to change my oil here pretty quick, too.
I know where you're going with that.
Oh,
That looked like a
man.
strike to me, but that's going to be a BB&C car care walk, and that'll put runners at first and second for 7-hole hitter catcher Brian Lapp.
The catcher, number 11, Brian.
Yeah, it's okay. No damage there, right? You set up a force anywhere around. You get behind in a count 2-0, 3-0, and you got an open base like that. I'm okay working carefully on that, especially because you're getting later in the lineup. So now you're hitting, against somebody who's a pretty good hitter, though, to be honest. I mean, Lapp hit 321 last year. Decent-sized kid.
I'm a big fan of Brady Bowen's leadoff skills and base running skills. He has got Tyler Holt paying a lot of attention to him. He's not intending to steal. He's just trying to play with the pitcher and get in his head, and he's doing a good job of that.
You see it on the Sarma replay. Just kind of dancing a little bit.
Well, you love it too because with that size of lead, the catcher makes one mistake, he's standing on third base.
That's all it takes. And that, those are the details that take a good team to a great team.
There's a bunt shown, pulled back,
wow,
and we
got
got a
him.
stealer, but
Toast.
we've got
No,
it
safe.
He
out.
made it. He made
He's
it
safe.
in. He made it
He
in.
did.
Yep, he definitely made it in.
I thought we had him.
Here's the replay on Sarver paving.
We got a
And
stealer.
just a little up and down.
Put it on the
Slide.
feet.
Yeah,
Don't
it's got to
put
be
it on the
right.
thigh.
Yep, yep.
Take that glove right down in front of the bag.
Well, I think Wolf was just surprised he went.
I think so too. He came out of his crouch a little bit, but you're right. You gotta have that one down. And okay, now you got runners on the corner, so you got a call here, and now you might see anything from a delayed steal to a trick play. You got all kinds of things in play here.
And this is historically over the last many years where in this particular game, it can get away in a hurry. And if we make a mistake and the floodgates open and the circus music comes on, that's when the good team pulls away from the Arrows, and they've done that for a lot of years in a row. Let's see if this squad this year can overcome those demons.
Well, you can clearly see that the mentality behind the Wooster coaching staff is to put pressure on Ashland right away. Big leads, get after it. We get picked off, we don't care. We're going right back to the well with big leads, stealing bases, swinging at first
2-2.
pitches.
It's the same thing we used to do when we were playing, Zach. We get a left-hander on the mound, and I'd get the kid, Coach Klein, at first base. He'd be off there 20 feet.
Yeah,
we go on first movement, and then all helter-skelter happens, and we got kids running around the bases. Infield's up 2-2.
You win games by scoring runs.
Swung on and little chopper down the right side. That is trouble.
Got it.
Great play. Bowen is going to put the brakes on. Holt's got to back the throw up immediately here behind Wolf. Good job. We got away with it. First out, second out of the inning.
Hickey coming running in. Really had a great jump on that one and got rid of it in a hurry through a one-hop seed to Wolf. That's the biggest play of the game so far, and the leader in the clubhouse. I know it's the second inning.
DH Jordan Lighty hitting out of the left side, steps in. Arrow's not out of this yet. Two Generals in scoring position. Holt throws it hard. Keep in mind, left fielder Mangus is playing way off the line there and left.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I'm going to be really careful here to Lighty with the 9-hitter on deck, Chris. And a young man, a freshman in that. Now, I'm sure he's a great hitter because you don't make a Wooster starting lineup as a freshman if you're not a legit player. But I'm still going to be really careful here.
22 is a freshman.
37.
Oh, 37. Okay, the 9-hitter.
Yep.
The 9, okay.
I think that's a good strategy, Coach, and I hope that we implore it. That's a ball just a little bit out and down now, 1-1 the count. Both teams with a single hit. The Arrows have committed one error. It's a 50-50 call. Could have went either way, but the official scorer, Heath Grissinger, assigns an error up there on the scoreboard, so we'll go with that. Generals at second and third base. Litkowski, who can put him up and put him down in a hurry at second, and Bowen at third base. Chris spinner pitch outside, now 2-1 to 8-hole hitter Jordan Lighty. Hat tip to Ashland City Schools Director of Maintenance, Randy Heller, for the wonderful heater up here.
Tyler Holt, 35 pitches, almost even ball strike ratio so far. Cue ball.
Chopper down to Steve Young. He's going to let it go. I would have got that one, Zach. You know that about
You would
me
not
in the
have.
third base
You
box.
would have got out of the way. You would have absolutely jumped out of the way.
I used to knock him down with my feet all the time.
I've never seen Chris in action out there, so I don't know what to say right
Chris about 15 years ago could get really angry in a hurry. Or 12 years ago, whatever it was. Oh, boy. I never had any good umpires when I was responsible for teams.
2-2 pitch.
Hammered.
Uh-oh.
Left center field.
Mangus is on it.
Mangus. That is called a can of corn, and the Generals leave two. Come on back for the bottom of the second.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right, on time. With free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Today's game day guest brought to us by our friends at Wickham and Hess. Have your needs covered. Plan, grow, and thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments. New CEO at Wickham and Hess.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Bates has just taken over for retired Mr. Hess. Lots of years put into the business, and he's going to enjoy retirement, probably down in Marco Island or Naples, if I had to guess.
Still the chairman of the board over at AU and doing a lot of work at the university. Yeah, I don't think Jim will ever fully retire from like being a part of the community. There's no doubt. But Aaron is an awesome guy, and his family is, really involved here, and we're thankful for Wickham and Hess.
That would be Zach Truax, who's joining us. And if you're just joining us, we got some good intel from the voice of the Falcons about Hillsdale football, wrestling.
I know nothing about Hillsdale football.
Zach is
that's not true.
A mainstay now on the OH Report calling football. And then
I am in that.
I will tell you, in the winter, he's got the only wrestling show / coverage in this area, which is kind of ironic because wrestling is such a big deal. Ashland High School Wrestling had a wonderful season again under head coach Tommy Bauer. K-Mac was good, or K-10, whatever it was you're telling me about.
Yeah, it was solid. MOAC, really good. The Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference. As good as the OCC, is in wrestling, and that's because Ashland's there. Mount Vernon's gone now. Boy, the MOAC probably has the deepest conference in wrestling in the area between Cleveland and Columbus. Just really good wrestling.
0-2 swung on and a day and a half late. A.J. Workman swings through that one. Sitsud strikeout. Number 2 for Brady Bowen. One away. That'll bring up 5-hole hitter Trent Summers.
Yeah, there's nothing straight from Bowen. Like, everything's moving. He's got a lot of motion on everything. So even that one moving away. If you're Summers, you get on top of that plate.
Summers comes in hitting 308 on the early campaign, playing first base today and many of the games so far. That one's in the left-handed batter's box for strike 1.
You think? Here it is.
Well, and that's been a strike a couple times, or a ball a couple times.
Definitely outside. You saw it right there on the Sarver paving replay.
Little chopper to third base.
He's going to make this close.
The younger Bowen going to pick it up and
safe.
He's out.
Wow. Take a look at the Sarver play.
Summers was hustling.
Great job getting out of that box quick. He's hauling it down that line.
Good hustle. Hey, I think I have a favorite player because not only does it come up to Johnny Cash, but he hits the ball at third base and he makes it tough, man. Like you said, Wellesley. Yeah. Run everything out. Make it tough.
There's 2 things you can control in sports, and your attitude and your effort, and that's it, right? And we'll take that. I'll take 9 of those over guys with ridiculous talent that are dogs. We want the dog, not the dogs.
Yeah.
WG.
We want the WG,
D-A-W-G.
not OG. You don't want any dogs on your team.
No.
Mangus, left sider again, and Bowen picks that one up from third base and little lollipop to first base to retire. Mangus in order. Down go the Arrows, going back for the top of the third. We head to the top of the third, and for the Generals will be 9-1-2. Maddox Grazier, today's second baseman, will get his first crack at the senior Tyler Holt. Then we'll get back to the top of the lineup. Strikeout victim Hayden Meese and reach-on air 2-hole hitter Ben Winge will follow him to the dish. Holt now at 37 pitches. A little higher than what you'd like to see. You'd like to see 15ers thereabouts per inning. On track for 7 more pitches than that. Zach, they still do have to worry about pitch counts in high school. 85 is about the number that most kids go. Maybe push it a little bit more.
What are you allowed to throw?
A million.
1,050,000.
Oh, they don't keep track of it.
No, they do. They do. It has to do with the days and how many days between outings.
Right.
It's pretty particular because I remember back when I was coaching high school a long time ago, it was whatever that kid could do. But by the time I was finishing up coaching high school, before I coached at the college level, they had started to put those restrictions in.
Freshman Maddox Grazer hits out of the right side and showing bunt, pulls back high and out. Ball 1.
I thought he might have offered there, but this kid starting at second base as a freshman on a big Wooster General squad, and they're saying, you can only have one guy out. Oh, here we go.
Look at me.
Look up here.
Oh, he thought about calling it a strike.
Little down.
Action out in the Arrows bullpen. That's sophomore Evan DeHenden getting loose out there. And I mean, he's not playing catch. He's ripping would-be pitches to batters. So a little earlier than what we thought maybe, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Tyler has not been as sharp so far, but you don't know. He's still only thrown, where's he at? About 50.
40.
Yeah, 40 pitches, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, this is a tough lineup to pitch against.
3 balls, 1 strike now.
But Holt's a senior, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's a senior and this is Wooster.
But it is cold. I think that's part of it. You do have to be careful in the cold weather to not overextend guys.
All right.
That's a good pitch on the outside corner.
Wow.
Don't beg. Don't ever beg, man. Don't
beg.
go until the umpire gives you the call.
I don't even know what to swing at if I was a batter today. It's been everywhere.
First pitch, man. The guys have all hit the ball, all got after it on first pitch.
Chris is a tough crowd, Zach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Sometimes. When have you ever been in an easy crowd? You don't have
All
to
through
answer.
football because we won every game. That was easy.
I might need the voice of the Falcons to fill in for me in a game in late September.
Late September against who?
I don't know. I haven't seen our schedule. I don't
All right.
remember.
He'll
What?
be down on the field.
Oh, you go.
Swung on and driven down the right side. Hickey giving chase.
Oh,
That's
what's
an error. And we're going to have a 2-base error, and Maddox slides into second base.
just kind of, look down to see where he's going to throw it for the ball was in his glove.
There was no reason to throw it.
He looked down, though. You could see his face drop down right before he gloved it.
Next for Wooster.
Second error for the Arrows.
Beast.
And that's a painful one because you had the leadoff guy who worked the count. You worked yourself back, Tyler did, and then you had him down that right field line, and Hickey just couldn't hold on. I don't know if he looked up or what happened, but that's the second error for the Arrows.
Center fielder Miso for 1 on the day. He's got a strikeout. Maddox, who can, I believe, run pretty well at second base. We'll see if he squares around. He doesn't. Looks on a ball on the outside part.
I mean, top of the lineup, you've got good speed on second base. At top of the lineup, I think at this point I see why you might let him roll. You're going to score on a base hit anyway, probably out there from second. And Meese is just such a good hitter. You hate taking the bat out of his hands.
That I can subscribe to.
And right now, here's why. If you look at the pitch count, this is why Coach Goff's thinking, man, doesn't have his best control today. You're even ball strikes right now.
2-0 to Meese.
That being said, Brandon, against a team like Worcester who can hit the ball, do you want to throw more strikes than balls, or do you want them chasing a little more often?
It's a valid point. I think there's a fine line there, right? I think you definitely want to work corners. You don't want to give them anything too juicy.
Mm-hmm.
3-0 offering right down Broadway. Now 3-1. Meese taking the entire AB right there.
Popcorn smelling good.
Jeez, no kidding. Smells great.
Oh, Mr. Gunder giving us the schedule. Oh yeah. We'll talk about Arrow football here in a minute. We got to get Coach D in here.
I got a bone to pick with Chris over the last time I filled in, so we'll talk Arrow football.
Down, nice play. Throws that one over to first now for the first out of the inning.
Really nice play by Jake Bryant because that ball had all kinds of weird spin, a little jam job, and Bryant stayed in front of it, took care of it, throws it over to first. Big out for the Arrows. The game that I am probably going to miss is Madison again.
Madison, okay.
All right.
We'll see if he cuts my mic off again after I correctly and astutely
Yeah.
In a rainstorm.
Predict a close game.
Sure did.
Infield in.
You sure did.
One down. Outside.
Winch can handle the bat.
And if you're Tanner back there, there's a learning point right there where like that ball's so far outside, you don't want to try to frame it because if you try, it becomes white noise if you try to frame everything, right? And he tried to frame that one, so that's when you got to let go and just fire back to the pitcher.
Jake Bryant got to learn to back the throw up to the pitcher right here.
Him and Gris both got to be there. Yep.
We have to do that. That is fundamental baseball 101.
It's outside.
Doing nothing.
No, Gris did it.
Yeah, Gris did.
Chris is there.
Gris is there.
And Chris has got the red.
No, it's just.
Here in the
No,
third
he's-
inning.
Listen, we've lost games because of like fundamental things. It's just
Ashland
something-
has?
No, back in the
Okay.
day.
All right.
He meant we as in Chris Mowry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, exactly. 12U,
Like-
yes, we did.
No, Hillsdale. Back in the
Foul
day.
ball.
that's
Oh,
a foul
Hillsdale,
off, man.
okay.
Yeah, like, there's no better.
Well, because they
thing
had
to-
you catching, that's why.
Never caught. There's no better thing to learn than when something that you're told to do and you don't do it, it bites you. Then it's ingrained in your brain forever.
Oh, I hear
right?
you.
Like,
I hear you. Yeah, I'll tell you a story about my interaction with Joe Torre about what it was in regards to that kind of thing.
he's one of your favorite people.
Oh, that guy.
2-1 offering. Swung on and missed now. 2-2.
Boy, I think he was sitting on something fast and middle in and just decided I'm getting something on 2-1. And really nice pitch by Holt on that outside corner and really off the plate. Nice job there, not giving in.
Well, the Arrows ought to be 5-0 by the time we get to Madison.
This is the biggest pitch of the at-bat right
Fact. Holt's 2-2. Swung on and blasted off the Norma Foundation logo.
I like how Holt's battling. I know you guys mentioned that maybe he didn't have his best stuff, but man, he's battling against their best hitters. He's kept them at bay.
DeHenden's got enough work in the pen. He's back in the dugout, so he must be ready. Big pitch here for Holt. Good job by Wolf.
What year is DeHenden?
Sophomore.
Sophomore.
I don't mind that on 2-2.
Oh, yeah.
Just something in the dirt, try to get him to chase. He chased one earlier, and you got to trust your catcher, and he really did. Nice job by Tanner back there.
Especially as aggressive as these Wooster hitters have been. Got him.
Swung on and missed. The third Sid Sud strikeout from Tyler Holt in a big one. Now 2 outs and 3-hole hitter. Aiden McMillan steps in. He grounded out the Holt in the first. He was retired 1-3.
You saw Winch front side fly out on that Sid Sugg strikeout. And nice job by Tyler Holt battling back. And now you've got a chance to get out of this unscathed.
Keep in mind, this is one where you got 2 outs, you got a runner at third, you're at the 3-hole hitter in your lineup. With Maddox here at third base, if there's a pass ball and it's a 50-50, you may expect him to come home and try to score.
Oh, absolutely.
Razor.
You know him on a first-name basis. That's okay. I like it.
Broadcasting 101, I was taught, call them whatever you want as long as their first or second name. You taught me that. You learned it at OU.
I learned a lot there.
This ought to be good.
I learned a lot there at OU. Thank you, Mr. Gunder, for
Gunda!
the schedule.
Yeah.
I will miss the Rams. There's a low E announcement coming about that night.
Okay. Good job by Wolf yet again. He's done a fabulous job, Brandon. We
All right.
talk about it every game.
Yeah, he was flirting with that one, though, because he kind of backhanded. That was
Yeah,
a tough
tried
was
to
a-
scoop it.
Well, it was a tough one, right? It had a lot of spin out and away from him. Good job, though. A good way to be an athlete out there.
Look, he doesn't want to give in to Aiden McMillan here on 3-0. McMillan's got enough power to knock one of the signs
That's true, but it doesn't
printed
get much
by
easier with
Truax
Nielsen, the
printing
lefty.
out there on the fence.
You're not wrong. All right.
not the
Four-pitch
worst.
walk brought to us by BB&C Car Care.
I'm going to let Tyler finish this inning there, undoubtedly, because you have the senior on the mound with guys on the corners and Nielsen coming up. This is not a great opportunity to make a change, in my opinion. So you also might see them put something on here, first and third, right, with 2 outs, although you've got your 4-hitter up. So
And you got Bone on deck, keep in mind.
yeah, but you also have seen the way the Arrows have defended the first and third so far, right? I mean, you've got different plays, right? You can hit the pitcher, you can hit the cutoff, you can throw it down to third, you can pump fake. There's all those things, right? But really, ultimately, the most important thing is to keep that guy on third from getting home here.
Nielsen was a strikeout victim to lead off the second inning for the Generals in his previous plate appearance. Summers going to come in behind and token hold McMillan at first base. 2 outs. The Generals half of the third.
Popped him up.
There we go.
Franz, can of corn.
Uh-oh.
Battle in the wind, and the senior jumps up at that baseball like he was getting a rebound
Sweet
in
Moses.
Arrow Arena. The Arrows come to bat 0-0.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
Brady Bowen on to do the third inning of work for himself and his squad. Due up for the Arrows, Farnsworth, Bryant, and Wolf. They'll each get their first looks at the senior right-hander Akron commit. Farnsworth comes in hitting 286 on the year. Jake Bryant swinging it hot. You said, Brandon, earlier, 455. And Tanner Wolf, the 9-hole hitter, swinging at 462.
Yeah, we're off to a great start offensively. Guys are putting up some good numbers against some teams that they should be putting up some good numbers against.
It just goes to show we're on our second trip through Wooster's lineup, right? We're halfway through Wooster's lineup already, and we haven't made it through ours first. It's just how much better they are as a team right now.
That might have got him.
Hustle to first.
Man, lean into that one.
You can say that, but he's throwing 90.
There we
They
go.
gave it to him. Yeah, I gave it to him.
Yeah, the sophomore Farnsworth just got to throw the bat behind him and run to first base and make the umpire make a call.
Listen,
He's
that
just
was
such a nice kid.
that was the only way I
IQ
reached
low.
base in baseball. Wells, like they didn't pitch me inside. I was going to take one because I wanted to get on base. That's the only way I was reaching base in
Whatever
baseball.
it takes, man.
Whatever
You got to
it
hit
takes.
one of those 24-inch pythons.
Yeah, that's right.
We got the Masters reference and the Hulkamania reference.
I think they were bigger than 24-inch. I don't remember what the Hawks were.
24-inch python.
The Pythons, yeah.
That's all I remember.
Jake Bryant, 8-hole hitter, second baseman,
Lay
steps
one
in,
down.
and he shows bunt.
It's down.
Nothing happening. Pulls back. Ball 1.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you just got to get this down. You got Farnsworth over there first.
You know, I'll tell you, it's coming again. You know why? I saw the Universal do it again sign out of the box.
Well, Bowen over at third is charging hard, and I'm all right with that. I mean, everybody in the house knows you're bunting here. It's okay. Everybody knows you're bunting.
Wooster made an uncharacteristic mistake. You got to take advantage of it. You got to make it hurt. They don't make very many mistakes.
Tight slider right there, and that one had a lot of spin, and Bryant's got to get himself out in front of that plate with that bat. He's still got another pitch here at least to try to put one down here.
Oh,
Well, he went, but it doesn't matter. It works.
it works.
We'll take it. And now Jake's going to have an opportunity to get him over to third, and however you can. Now, he definitely offered, so it's 1-2. The Arrows-
Unconventional wisdom. I might do it again.
No.
Okay.
Not with the guy hitting 455.
Right.
The
All
guy
right.
in scoring
Okay.
position already.
Wow.
Well, Bowen thought he had it.
Yeah. He's called that a strike a couple times.
Yes, don't beg, though.
Play-by-play guy thought he had it too.
Those umpires do not like people making mistakes.
Balls, 2 strikes.
There's a reason they're umpires.
Some of them like the cash, BW.
It's great cash, homie.
Farnsworth at second.
That's only how you pay fines. B.
Further
Wells.
outside.
That's only how you pay fines.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Straight cash, homie.
We just went from Randy Moss to Marshawn.
That's right.
Full count. Good job by Jake battling back and a good eye on those outside pitches.
Yeah, I agree. 3-2 pitch.
It's down. Oh, oh my. Great pitch. Absolutely filthy pitch on the inside corner, down and in. And whether you can debate whether it was in the zone or not, but really a tough spot. And Bowen, that's why he's the D1 commit, right? That's why he's going, because that location on that pitch was really tough spot.
Sits a strikeout for Bowen, and Wolf offers it that spinner pitch and hits it over towards the Wooster dugout. Hits it off the Archer Arrows Park insignia right below the roof of the new dugout.
Thoughts and prayers out to Jan and Bob. Good friends here in the Ashland community.
Junior catcher Wolf is hitting .462 on the campaign. At second base is Farnsworth. Swung on and missed. Now down in the count 0-2, Tanner Wolf.
You watch Wolf's front side just fly out on that pitch.
Catcher Wolf is
Never
hitting
gonna hit that outside pitch. You can see that front
campaign.
shoulder.
Second
Watch.
base is
Goes
Farnsworth.
out first.
Swung
Got to
and
stay
missed.
up the
Now
middle
down
of
in
the
the
left
count
side,
0-2.
particularly against guys with this kind of velocity. Just go ahead and throw it in there. If you're Bowen, do more damage by doing that. Just throw it.
I meant to ask head coach Steve Young if Brady Bowen has lost a conference game yet in his career. I'm not certain that he has. But she started, as you know, Brandon, his freshman year. Third inning brought to you by Comfort Control. Check him out. BW just had some plumbing done.
Great work.
Pop up, shallow center field. Grazer pulls that one in, and that'll be 2 outs now in the bottom of the third for the Arrows.
And that's why you have a freshman defensively. You watch him go out there and just take charge, and he waves off Meese, the senior football, D1 recruit. Like, he just waves him off and says, I got it. That takes some chutzpah for the young second baseman. That's good work out there.
Chutzpah.
It's Yiddish, Chris.
I'm well aware. I'm in the toy business, Brandon.
You ever seen the movie The Toy?
No.
Oh, Chris.
It's all Toy Story. That's all you need to see.
No.
How do you even call games with this guy? He does.
I don't know.
He knows zero movie references.
I don't know.
Like I'll listen to football games and I'll hear you tee up a movie reference.
Nothing.
That's for VD.
Nothing.
That's for TVD. I'm down on the sideline. I'm talking about the real stuff. They're up there pontificating. Wells is getting 97
Talking about
syllables
the real
in.
stuff.
That's a
There's a
There we
rope
go.
in the right
There we
side.
go.
That
That's
ball's
gonna score
down.
one.
That's a double one run in. Franz to second. Franz got to
Send
go
him.
to third. Oh my, he didn't go. Don't make the first or third to third. I get it. He hung him up at second base for a stand-up double. Great job, Mike
Beautiful
Franz.
hit.
He gave Browns something down and in, and Michael just turned and ripped it into right field, and the Arrows strike first.
That's a big run there for the Arrows to get ahead on Bowen early in the bottom of the third. 2 outs. Franz can flat out fly. That'll bring up 2-hole hitter Jay Kickey.
And the guy who scored was the hit batter.
There it is.
Talk about mistakes against good teams, and Wooster doesn't make many mistakes. Ashland was able to capitalize on probably the only mistake they'll make all game.
You know, Richard Pryor was also in a baseball movie called Brewster's Millions, one of my favorites. John Candy. Oh, this is trouble.
Franz going to get the third
safe.
base easily on that wild pitch.
Brewster's Millions is a classic baseball movie. Chris, have you seen that one?
I'm more into
really
eight
no,
men
he means
out.
no.
He was a baseball player, but it's not a baseball movie.
Listen, I'm more
That's
into
true.
8 men
Also had John
out.
Candy in it.
Candy was awesome.
Awesome.
Mr. 61, Mr. 3000.
Mr. 3000
I mean,
was
what do you
pretty
want to
funny.
talk about? Major League's
No,
the
but-
best movie ever made.
But we were talking about the toy, Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason, the legendary Jackie Gleason in that one. And the fact that you haven't seen that, I just can't understand. We're almost the same age.
Listen, Zach and I grew
Great
up in a
movie.
neighborhood where we learned a lot of words. We didn't go to private school where you were only taught those kind of words on the movies.
That's funny. No, I had a movie rental place right down the road from me.
Oh, yeah, me too. Merity. It
Yeah.
was Merity Video, and then, there was a little family-owned place.
Loudonville, it was a gas station, movie rental, sub shop,
Laundromat.
right? Laundromat,
Bar and
right?
grill.
Yeah, so
Hickey down in the count 1 and 2. I'm sure to those campers, they sold plenty of Beast back in the day too.
they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Down there on Wally Road, you can take your closest friend and never see him again on Wally Road.
I tell you what, there's more RV hookups per square mile on Wally Road than anywhere else in the world.
Is that true?
It's a fact.
Wow.
That there, Clark, is an RV.
Per square mile. Yeah, right. Now tell me, Chris. Tell me you know that one.
National Lampoon's
Okay.
you idiots.
All right, just making sure.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Hickey. A hitter and error is going to plate Franz, and that would give the Arrows a 2-0 lead in the third. Huge run there, BW at third base.
Yeah, and good job by Hickey battling back. Got down to count 0-2, and at a minimum, he's making Bowen make some pitches here and extending the pitch count.
Crazy twos on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Franz at third base, and Hickey calls time in the box. Bowen taking a little bit too much time on that rubber. Arrows 5-0 again, Zach. Another good start to the campaign this year.
Really good start. This would be, if you can find a way to knock off Wooster here, though, you've got some great momentum in this season then.
Good job by Hickey getting a piece of that to stay alive. Staying alive. Okay, go ahead. Where's that from?
It's the Bee Gees. Come on, man.
I was going to say The Office, because then you're getting ready to harvest the organs. Dwight Schrute style.
The Saturday Night Fever. And
Bowen begging again. Sorry, Zach.
The Division I Coach of the Year a couple years ago at Dublin Kaufman was my roommate, Chance Van Gundy, and that was his go-to movie night before matches, Saturday Night Fever.
Wow.
Yeah, he loved it.
Well, I mean, Travolta had a lot of swag. It's up and in.
All 4.
Best at bat of the day right there.
Yep.
Honestly, I mean, from start to finish, Hickey attacked aggressive early, got behind, fought off a couple of tough pitches, and then gets himself on base. And again, you're extending innings, and it may not always show up in this inning, but those extra pitches show up down the stretch here in this ballgame.
What's his pitch count, you say?
Walk.
Don't know. He's up there.
We got 42 on the board,
go.
Coach.
Here we go.
Here we go. Plate.
Attaboy, Michael.
2-0 Arrows, and moving up to second base is Hickey. Great job by the Arrows, and Franz getting him across the plate for the second run of the game.
Yeah, I see. He's at 43. For some reason, it's only keeping it. I don't know. I screwed something up, but
okay.
Yeah, it's working.
Grist swung on and missed. Good healthy cut at that one. Nice job. 1-1 account. I think Grist would like to try to deposit one on that A in Ashland in center field.
Got to stay within yourself, man.
Well, the wind's blowing out, so you get it up in the jet stream, it'll go.
Got to stay within yourself. You start thinking that way, you're going to pop up.
Swing for the fences. Swing for the fences.
I just learned something today from the Human Encyclopedia, Steve Handelsman. Did you know the nationality of Ted Williams' mother?
Korean.
Negative.
Himalayan.
You're just guessing.
Answer, you don't know.
Home plate umpire having some words for the Wooster bench.
Well,
that's what I know.
Typical.
Throw him out.
Mexican. And he never said it until he retired. He was embarrassed about it.
He shouldn't have been.
He shouldn't have been.
Fouled off.
Chris, $7 holler down the creek.
Different
Brought
times.
to you by
Exactly. That's what he said.
Sarver Paving, $7 Creek. I need to call my friends at Sarver Paving. My driveway is a mess.
Did you get approval from the boss to fix it?
No, I don't have the money to fix it. I mean, I have full approval. It's just,
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to score.
That's down.
We're going to be up 3-0.
That's going to be the third Arrow run of the contest, and with 2 outs, Grissinger delivers.
now this is what happens. You've stretched Bowen out in this inning, and all of a sudden he's getting a little more uncomfortable, and Grist just knocks one out into left field, and you got a 3-run lead.
Huge.
You know, it's good to see a lot of excitement in that dugout there.
Yeah.
You're wearing an orange jersey, too, and here comes pitching coach to have a conversation.
Well, they've been that enthusiastic and that into the game the whole game. The whole game. That's not false bravado, right? Like a lot of times you'll play baseball teams and you'll hear them be loud in the dugout and going crazy, and then you come out and you punch them in the mouth and they shut up, right? There's a school district about 35 miles south of here that was that way, right? Like they had a lot of false bravado, but as soon as we got out to a lead, their dugout would always get quiet. And that's not what these guys are doing. These guys have been in the game. The dugout's been in the game. The whole team's been enthusiastic. I love the body language.
I think
out of
that
the whole
team
group.
actually realized the OCC was too big for them, and they had to go to a smaller conference to compete.
Yeah.
AJ Workman, today's DH, steps in.
They can compete in wrestling, I'll tell you that.
Mountain Visit brought to you by Linway Restaurants. Our good friend Rob Stoops and Company.
Zach, I know
Serving awesome food over there since 1951. Sorry.
I know first time getting a look at Workman, but he can deposit a ball. If he was able to do that right here, boy, oh boy, big deal for the Arrows.
And a really nice young man.
Yeah, good kid. Really good kid.
What year is he?
Junior. He's a transfer from Mapleton, so he can only play half the season this year with us. And then next year we'll have him all season.
Any other sports or just baseball?
No, I think just strictly baseball only. I know if Coach V sees him in the halls, you know, he might be trying to convert him into a left tackle.
Well, he was trying to dent that baseball and that swing.
Why not? It was 2-0.
Exactly.
But they went up there with that idea in mind. I don't know. It's been since the first inning, but the Arrow batters have been calling time a lot more in the batter's
pitch.
box.
That was a quick pitch right there. Bowen was not messing around. As soon as a home plate umpire...
You're not calling time now.
He was not going to let him do it. And the Arrows have clearly... That's been part of the strategy here in the first 3 innings.
Yeah.
Well, that heater feels good.
Doesn't he have to pause, Coach?
Almost got you, Truax.
almost made me jump.
Almost got you up here.
Made me jump. I jumped. I
I
did.
about lost 500 in the headset when it banged on the
You
table.
gave me the headset with the earpiece coming off. That was bad enough.
That was on purpose. That's what Chris said. Let's give this one.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
Swung
pitch.
on and missed. Great pitch by
Good inning, though.
Bowen. Sid Sudge strikeout to end the third, but not before the Arrows plate 3.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
Back here at Ashland Archer Arrows Park. Bud Plank Field, Brandon Wells, Zach Truex up here in the booth. Hudson Farber also in the booth
Leading
joining
off
us
the fourth.
today. Yeah.
For the Generals, the
My man.
pitcher, number 16.
How's it going,
Brady
little man?
Bowen.
Yeah, there he is. See? Look, you're on TV.
Now, Bowen's got to be chomping at the bit to get his bat on the ball,
you
right?
just gave up 3, and all of a sudden you're thinking, man, how can I just get back up there and, get myself on base, help my team? And again, it's challenging as a pitcher then to come and hit, to try to keep yourself, stay within yourself here, not try to get all 3 back here by yourself. You just need to get on base.
Well, not only is he the pitcher, but he's the unquestioned leader on the team, too.
Yeah, I mean, and it gets ahead in the count 2-0, didn't chase anything here. Tyler has battled, clearly hasn't had his best control today, but that's okay. You're not always going to have your best stuff. The truth is, maybe half the time at most you're going to have your best stuff, or a third, and a third you're going to have your worst, and a third you're just going to be okay. So, that was down and in, huh?
3-0.
Yeah, you'd like to see Tyler get through this inning, make himself eligible for the win, number one, but also just because you've got a couple more games here in the next few days, and hopefully, depending on the weather.
I'm assuming he's the number one.
Yeah.
And so he's the number one. He's a senior. This is Wooster. It doesn't get any bigger than this if you're an Arrow baseball player. Worcester's a team you need to beat.
Yeah, I mean, you look at his ball strike, he's all over. I mean, 34 balls with 30 strikes is not normal for him. He's normally got much better control. But some of that, Zach, is because of the weather. I mean, it just gets harder to hold on to the ball.
Okay.
Your feel for the ball on the mound when it's this cold is just it's challenging. He's missing everything down, which actually usually, I mean, I don't know if he's just overstriding or what's happening today. He's been in the stretch a lot since the first couple batters.
It would seem to me that being in the stretch would conserve energy.
It does, but for some guys, they're just not as comfortable. That's a nice pitch on the outside corner right there.
Really, they're not as comfortable in the stretch as they are the windup because you feel like you'd be in the stretch more often with guys on base.
Yeah, it just depends on how much you practice it too. But you see Bowen throws from the stretch all the time.
Yeah.
Like he just says, no, this is what I'm doing. There's less motion. There's less things to get jacked up.
Right, yeah. Less moving parts.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no adjustment to make when someone's on base. Guy gets on base,
Right.
just stay in the
It's
stretch.
the same. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, you're just not necessarily generating as much velocity out of the stretch usually. It takes you down a few MPHs. And there's less deception. You know, when you're in a windup, there's more deception.
All right.
He's aiming a little bit today. I think more than anything, what I see out of Tyler, you know, I mean, he's battling, right? He's giving up nothing through 3, and you're into the 4th. But I think he's just aiming a little bit. He's trying to be a little too precise.
Well, you don't want to leave it in the middle of the plate against these guys.
Yeah. And I don't know what Coach told him. Coach might have said, "Hey, you know, give me all you got for 4, or give me who knows?" Because everybody has a little different philosophy in what they're doing as far as bullpen and who's coming next.
That always seemed to me, watching baseball, always the toughest decision to make.
It is.
The
Oh,
bullpen
yeah.
decision.
Yeah, and you'd rather pull a guy a batter too early than a batter too late because then you're in trouble, right? You want that guy to leave with some confidence. You want him to leave a little early if you have to.
But you want to get as much out of that well as you can, right?
Yeah, especially with the pitch count rules. I mean, that becomes a real thing. You only
Yeah.
have some. Not everybody can pitch on your team, you know. I mean, and you've got a game tomorrow, game Friday, game Saturday. As of now,
yeah.
I think if he walks him here, he's gone. I think you're going to go to DeHenden with back-to-back walks to
Without
start.
question.
That's my guess.
With no outs.
Yeah, you don't want to get into a situation where you're bringing in a reliever with the bases loaded and no outs or whatever. You're in a 3-0 spot here. And Tyler's up to 68 pitches.
Oh, that's been a strike a couple times.
Yeah, but the hard part is as he's struggled with his control, sometimes you don't get those calls, right? If you're throwing a lot of balls, then that can be something that happens.
It's always interesting to see the pitchers. I have a theory on this, BW.
Yeah.
And this is just from observation. I've always said I don't know a whole lot about baseball. I've watched a lot, don't know a whole lot about it. Whenever I see the first thing I look at on a pitcher, if he wants to go in or out, the pitchers that want to stay in on that walk, they turn their back to the mound. Or they turn their back to the home dugout, right? Like the pitchers won't look at the coach if he wants to stay in. If he wants to come out, he catches the ball and stares in the dugout. And then it says, get me out of here now, right?
That's fair. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Holt caught the ball and looked right at the coaching staff.
He's staying in.
Get me out of here.
He's staying in, though. Here we go, man. I mean, I thought we were going to have
good for him.
A pitching change after the BB&C Car Care walk. That's back-to-back BB&C Car Care walks. Don't walk, drive, take your car, truck, vehicle over to one of the BB&C Car Cares on East Main or on Claremont. That's where we get all of our oil changes for our vehicles as well. Fantastic people over there in both locations. And we are back to action, 2 on and no outs. I don't know. You might see a bunt here. You're down 3 runs. You need to get something going if you're Wooster.
Who's our batter for Wooster here?
There's the pitch.
Lap?
It's a little down.
Well, Lap wins the award for best batting gloves. Look at those things.
Those are sweet.
The
Chris
blue and the
doesn't
hot
like 'em.
pink.
I can tell you right now, Chris is over there saying, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it. Looks like the old Marlins stuff. High fastball from Holt to even up the count.
With the hot pink too.
Ground ball to
Here we
third.
go.
Chance
Here we
for
go.
2.
Here we go. 1.
Eat it.
Oh,
no, that's the right decision.
That's good. It's a
Yep.
good decision. Yep.
Yep.
We got our out.
That was a big one. You get that first out, takes the pressure off a little bit here, and all of a sudden you're feeling a little bit better. And, if you're Holt, You got one out. If you give up a run here, that's not the end of the world, right? You got, just get out of here giving up just one. You're in great shape, but you need to hold the runner at first here, I think.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. That being said, so do you throw down if he's still second here, try and get the out?
If you
and
can.
you concede home plate?
You're going to trade an out for a run.
Right,
here,
that's
100%.
what I do too. I'm always amazed by how many teams don't throw down in this situation. And a lot of times you don't have the best base runner on, and you just go ahead and concede second when you can just get the out.
Yeah, Lighty, good hitter in there, big hitter who can hit the ball a long way. But now Summers is holding the runner over at first. Farnsworth's in at third with the left-handed hitter up. That's a ball.
And this is another one right here too. Like you said, hold him at first, go get him if he steals. But if you can hold him on first, and you get a ground ball out of Lighty here,
you got a chance to turn two.
I mean, Lighty looks like he hit the ball well, but he ain't running the 100-meter dash for Wooster. That's for sure.
The 1-0 pitch. That's away from Wolf.
There he goes.
That's in the dirt.
That changes that philosophy.
It does change it, but you also now have a first base open with the 9-hitter on deck. So to me, 2-0, I'm really careful. I will tell you this: if I walk him here or I put him on, I'm not changing pitchers with the bases loaded and one out. I'm going to let Holt, your senior, be the guy that wins or loses it here for you.
100% with you. 100% with you. Hey, you win them with Johnnies and Joes, not X's and O's, man.
2-0 pitch to Lighty. That's inside. Ooh. Got away, thankfully, for the Norma Foundation backstop. Right back at him, and that was a...
Well, I thought they hit his handle.
No, I think that was the glove of Wolf. And that was a high and tight brought to you by the 419 Barbershop in downtown Ashland. Get you looking fresh this spring. I got an appointment next week. Check them out for all your hair care needs.
Now, the first base coach was upset. Was he upset because he thought the kid got hit, or was he upset because his guy on third didn't go home?
That's a great question. Maybe you couldn't find I don't know. Good question. It's outside corner.
Because I was surprised the guy on third base wasn't home on that one.
That's a tough spot with only one out, and to make that decision with a short backstop. You never want to run into outs here. You want to let guys bat you in if you can.
Short backstop? I thought we were regulation now.
3-1. Ground ball to second. Should be an out. You're going to give up a run. Good job by Bryant. The Arrows get the second out. That was a big out right there. And now you're 3-1. You have a chance to get out of this inning, only giving up one run with the 9-hitter up. Now, if Frazier gets on, now maybe you go to DeHinden. But, you still want to try. It depends. You still want to try to get through this inning with Holt. A 3-1 lead. You've only given up one hit.
Well, it's the third trip to the lineup now, too. Right? Like, this will be their third trip to the lineup. And these kids are too good.
Popped up foul, and that's out of play.
The Wooster hitters, I think, are too good to let them see any pitcher 3 times in a row.
Whoops! I thought we were getting a radar gun reading there. That's not right. 78 pitches for Holt, and you see 42 balls, 36 strikes. Only one hit given up for Holt. 0-1 count from the stretch.
Oh boy!
Sliced into right field. That's trouble. That is fair.
Nice piece of
base hit, really nice inside-out swing.
That's a nice piece of hitting.
That is a really nice job there by the young man to get himself an RBI single, and it's 3-2. And really a good pitch, but Frazier shows why the freshman is in the lineup.
No, that was just a beautiful piece of hitting.
You know why he was successful, Brandon? He stepped to the pitch.
Yeah, he stayed within it.
He took the pitch on the outside part of the plate. Didn't try to do too much. He just flares it into right field for an RBI single.
So Frazier over on first, and Holt will try to get out of the inning with just 2, and there's something slow and off speed, and Wolf keeps it in front.
Back to the top, Hayden Meese, 0 for 2 on the day. He's got a punch out and a ground ball to Jake Bryan at second base.
Top of the fourth brought to you by Comfort Control.
Here's an opportunity, too. It was 3-0. It's now 3-2. You got a freshman there at Maddox at first base. I may send him. And if he's thrown out, he's a sacrificial lamb, and I'm coming back to the top of the lineup, too.
Chris. I totally agree. You're timing up. You're going on first movement, whatever it is. But, I agree with you on that. And you got a good count here for it here, 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going right.
And, you tell me, you can let him swing away if he gets something right down the pike. Good lead for Frazier. He's running.
Frazier
Great
in motion.
Jump.
No prayer to throw him out. He's in there safely by 30 miles.
Wolf had no chance. Great jump over there. And to Holt's credit, he's trying to concentrate on the top of the lineup right here, right? He's trying to get out of this inning 3-0. Now you got to battle back, and you got to throw a strike here. Right? You're not throwing a shot, but you're going to go at him. Don't throw a get me over though. All right, there's a strike.
3 balls and a strike, 2 outs. Only 2 hits for the Generals in this frame, or 1 hit in this frame, actually.
Just 2 hits today.
Yeah, 2 hits today. The first hit was off of Bowen's bat in the second, excuse me. He shows steal, but holds up, and that's a walk to Meese. And for my money, we may get some activity here from head coach Rick Goff. We'll see if he does make a turn around the dugout pole, and he does that. We're going to have a pitching change.
BDNC car care walk. Another one leads to the pitching change.
We'll be right back to tell you about it right after this.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Sophomore Evan DeHenden, 6'2", 205-pounder, looked good in a football uniform, wouldn't he, Zach, on Friday nights?
He would.
Now on to pitch for the Arrows. Tyler Holt responsible for the runner at second base, that's Grazer, and the runner at first base, that's Meese. And due up now, 2-hole hitter Ben Weenge. Today's shortstop, he's 0 for 2 on the day, reached on an error in the first, and then a strikeout victim in the third. But the Arrows have made some noise here with the Generals in the fourth inning, 2 plated runs here for the Generals. Arrows still clinging to the 3-2 lead.
Yeah, what's this Meese? Is this Meese here?
Nope.
This is Winch.
He was close on a lot of swings there in his first 2 at-bats. He just missed a couple times. So,
smooth-looking hitter here, Winch.
Yeah, I'd be surprised he didn't put one in play right here.
Left-handed hitter.
Breaking ball and a beauty. Just missed inside. It's tough to come in the middle of an inning and throw strikes, but that's the key, right? I mean, you've got the heart of the order up here, though. Got to challenge him here on 2-0.
Now 3-0. On deck, if you're wondering at home, is 3-hole hitter Aiden McMillan. 0 for 1 on the day with a walk.
I'm green-lighting him here if
Facts.
I am Coach Young, but
Facts.
because he's a veteran and you give him the opportunity on 3-0 and 2 on.
This kid's a D1 commit, right?
Down, doesn't matter. Nobody's swinging at that one.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a guy a batter before they get in here, right? I mean, but DeHenden's got to figure it out quickly. There's just nowhere to hide when you're the pitcher and you're coming in. I've been in that spot as a pitcher where you come in and, man, you feel the weight of the world in a game like this.
You know, he saw something in that at bat too, and he made a point not throwing the first base. He went right up to the next batter up, gave him some tips.
There he is.
4 BB&C car care walks by Arrow pitching in this inning. You wonder why you score 2 runs, have them packed here with 2 outs and only 1 knock. That's your answer right here. DeHenden does get ahead of McMillan 0-1.
Oh, boy.
Bullet,
Oh,
pass
man.
Briss, 1 run scores, 2
runs.
run is coming, and we're going to have runners at first and second base with the ever dangerous Sam Nielsen coming to the dish.
That was a rope.
4-3, not 5-3. My apologies out there. First and second.
Next up for the Generals, the first baseman.
Tough spot to
Sam
come in with those guys on
Nielsen.
base, and you knew he had to bring something over the plate to challenge him and go at him, and there it was. Now you got to try to minimize the damage here. You've given up a 4 spot, a big inning, but you can't give up any more. You want to give yourself back into that dugout in a 1-run ball game because Bowen will come out and be ready to rock and roll.
But he'll have a new demeanor. A new demeanor when he gets back on the rubber, as you said, Brandon.
Well, I
There's no
mean,
question.
I don't know about new demeanor, but new energy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think there was nothing wrong with his demeanor is what I'm saying before. You couldn't tell whether he was giving up runs or not, which I like. I'm just saying he's going to be rejuvenated out there.
Yeah, he's got momentum. He's got the momentum on his side.
Big Mo.
The 9th general hitter sent to the dish this half inning, and that is left-handed batter Sam Nielsen. 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout victim and fly ball to center field, Franz, and that's the one he leaped after like he was grabbing a rebound off the leapt.
Is it leapt or leaped or?
Leaped. Depends on the context if you want to
Wells
get real
gave us
technical.
Wells gave us an eye roll.
He doesn't want 2 public schools kids talking about English. That's the truth. There's a
Well,
wild pitch, and the Generals move up 90 feet.
No damage. You're all right. You got 2 outs here, guys. Just settle down.
Tell you what,
Don't
I'm not giving
overthrow.
him anything here on 2-1 that's too juicy. If he gets to 3-1, I'm putting him on, and I got my bases loaded and a force anywhere.
And then you go righty-righty. But it's Bowen on deck, so it doesn't get
Okay.
any easier. But,
Nope.
yeah. There's no real easy outs in this Wooster lineup.
No.
Should be one there.
Yep.
Summers
Come
picks
on.
it up,
Come on.
flips it over to DeHenden, and Nielsen is retired, but not before the Generals go quattro in the top of quattro. Three hits apiece, 2 errors for the Arrows, and as you can see, 4 runs for the Generals and 3 for the Arrows on screen. Head coach Rick Goff down there in frame at the end of the dugout trying to get his guys motivated. He'll send 5, 6, 7 to the plate. Trent Summers, Nick Mangus, and Miles Farnsworth.
So this is one of those moments for a team, Chris, that defines you sometimes, right? You gave up 4. You have an opportunity to come back here and not lay down, not roll over against a really good team, put up some good at-bats. What do you have in you? What kind of juice, what kind of heart do you have? And we'll find out.
And that's off a 3-time OCC Pitcher of the Year you're going to have to do it against now. He's got his first lead of the ballgame, 4-3. We'll see how Bowen reacts.
It's really different pitching with a lead.
Little pop up to first base. Nielsen comes on and stabs at it, but not before the first out is secured in his mitt.
A heartbreaking ball. Summers went after it. I'm all right with being aggressive, going after that first pitch.
Absolutely.
You don't want guys to lay back. It's okay to be aggressive and go after it. You just drop the hands a little bit and pop that one up.
On a lesser pitcher, I would agree, because not all the time do those lesser pitchers, and I'm talking about skill level, Bowen and somebody else, do they get their breaking pitches across for strikes when they want to. At this level, oftentimes spinner pitches are just that. Let's hope they get across. This young man throws it for a strike and pinpoints it where he wants it. Maybe you lay off that. I
So
don't know.
often that first pitch is still going to be the best one you're ever going to get.
We'll
Give me
see.
a pat.
Against
went.
with this pitcher, I would agree with you.
You get
Against
down
a
on the
lot of
count
them?
against Bowen, you're
done.
in trouble. But
done.
I don't know about done. I don't
You're
know.
done.
Come on now.
Done.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that.
I'm with you, Wells.
Sorry, you guys can be wrong. It's fine. 2-1.
It would be the first time.
Did you know Brandon went to public schools or private schools? Zach?
He did.
No, you said it right the first time.
Yeah, public school until about second grade.
K through 8, to be clear. Harvey J. Bullock Middle School.
How old were you before you could learn how to spell all that? Bullet,
Come on,
left
get
field,
down.
Mangus.
About 4.
Got a chance to beat. Look how
Yeah,
he does.
got
That
him.
ball's down.
Nice
Mangus
run at
going to be
Mangus.
at second base.
Well, you get a ball in the air. We talked about it, guys. Put the ball in play. Good things happen. And the wind just kept taking that ball on Lukowski out in
Yeah.
left field, and he thought he had a beat on it. That's where, as an outfielder, when you're coaching outfielders, you teach them not to drift. Turn and run, get to a spot. And he just drifted, he drifted, and the wind took it.
Well, it's blowing straight out, and we said earlier, if it gets up in the air, it's going to get up in that jet stream and go, and it did that.
Zach, you saw the same thing I did at second base, a celebratory acknowledgement. Was that the Rooster?
I don't know what that was, but he did take 1 foot off the base for just a
How's that
second.
a strike?
Well, you got to adjust. You got to widen your zone, and you got to attack pitches like that or that are on the out. Get on top of the plate a little bit, right? And if he's going to call that, then you got to know. The reason I do struggle sometimes with strike zones, but I also sorry about that. It's 1-1. I also want to make sure that our guys never make those excuses, right? Like I just want to make sure that if they watch this back that there's never an excuse, and that's a beautiful pitch right there.
Man.
Right? Never blame an umpire for an at bat or an out or a game ever or an
Never.
official.
I always told my kids that was my responsibility. You put your head down, go back to the dugout, or just act like nothing happened, and I'll stick up for you.
Got to fight here with 2 strikes.
Farnsworth.
Good job.
Way to fight it
Fights
off.
that off, yeah, down the right side. That's going to stay in the park. Good
I
job.
mean, that's a tough pitch. That tight slider that he's throwing in on the hands, and Farnsworth did all he could to just fight that one off and stay at the dish.
Farnsworth HBP victim in the third, but he did come around to score. He's hitting 286 on the campaign.
Chris, you stepped outside for a minute. It feels like it's getting colder out there.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's a little windy.
Well, you were running. Oh, it also says it's about to rain
Sweet.
for 60 minutes.
That's great.
So my jaunt down to the Porta-John
I would go now.
It's an official game now, though, right?
5 innings. Swung on and missed. That ball's dropped. They're going to have
Go,
to retire
go,
him
go,
at
go,
first.
go, go.
And
Come
Mangus
on.
gets wisely
Good
going to go to
Good
third
job,
base.
Mangus.
Well done by Mangus to take the extra 90 feet for free, and Farnsworth strikes out for the second out.
He got the right man right at the dish, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jake's been hot, and Miles did the right thing. He was aware, because if Miles isn't paying attention and just sits there and pouts, now you're in trouble. Now you don't have a man at third base, and that's the tying run in the ball game.
But keep in mind, what also happens, you forced Nielsen to make a throw all the way across the diamond where we know anything can happen. Takes a
Yeah.
bad hop, you airmail it. If you throw it to Community Stadium, Mangus comes around to score.
Dude made a hell of a throw, though.
He did. He sure did. That's up. Good job by Jake letting that one go.
And you said he's batting 450 right now.
4.55,
Entering
entering
today.
today.
Man, got the right guy at the plate here to tie it up.
Put it in play here.
Strikeout
He's
victim
on
in
top
the
of the
third.
plate. I like it. Good job fighting that
Ooh.
one off.
That's
Spinners.
Cuse ball.
Tough play.
That's
Tough
Cuse
play.
ball.
All right.
Arrows strand a man to third, 4-3. Generals.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right on time. With free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Evan DeHenden on to do his second inning of work. Not entirely true. He did retire the final out there in the fourth for the Arrows, but he'll be on to do his first full inning of work. And coming up to the plate will be number 16, today's starting pitcher.
Number 16, Brady.
Frankly, OCC stalwart Brady Bowen. He's 1 for 1 on the day, singled in the second, and then walked and scored Zach in the fourth inning. It's a heck of a big out if you could get it right here.
He got him going last inning, and he's going to get him going this inning.
Bullet to third base and an error by Farnsworth. Huge turn there by Brady Bowen, and that'll be a reach on an error, and the Generals in business early.
Chris, I know we got Bud Plank figured out and resodded, but
Number 6,
that looked like an old-fashioned
Kowski.
Bud Plank hop right
Those
there.
are nasty at third base. It's a lot better. Maybe it is a hit. Now they gave him an error on the board. So, nonetheless, that's the hot corner for a reason. A.J. Lukowski steps in, today's left fielder. Bowen at first base, who reached on that error. And Lukowski shows butt, gets it down. Farnsworth going to have to make a good play in a hurry, and he gets it to first base, but that's an infield bunt. And the Generals in business.
Watched the replay on that. Did the second baseman not get over to cover? What was his first step there?
Yeah, I don't know. The replay, that's my boy BW's department.
All right. It looked like Farnsworth. I was watching Farnsworth the whole time. It looked like he held up for a second. I couldn't figure out why, but it didn't look like we had anyone covering first quite yet. And just like that, the Generals have 2 on with no outs.
Guess what I'm doing right here, Zach? You want me to tell you or you know?
Get the bat talking. You're going to bunt.
Yep, going to bunt.
You know what I do?
Who knows what's going to happen? I'm going to push it up towards first base.
Hit the ball.
Today's catcher, Brian Lapp, 0 for 2 on the day. And
we got him.
nobody's
No one's
covering
covering third.
base. You got to be kidding me. How in the world?
Hits. No, error.
E5 and a bunt single.
Yep.
And then we forgot to cover third base on the fake bunt steal.
Tough error on Farnsworth to get it going. That ball came off Bowen's bat at about 1,000,000 miles an hour.
First and third now. Well, again, we talked about what it takes when you give up a 4 spot, and what are you going to do to respond? I'm out of shape, guys.
I know you ran. I can
Did
hear
you really
the
run?
puffing and puffing.
I did. Mostly because I know Maury doesn't know how to run the scoreboard.
That's true too.
And so I was like, as I left said thing, I thought, oh, we're in trouble.
Zach asked me
You really
about.
did run.
Zach literally asked me on the bunt. He goes, "Was the second baseman slow to cover first?" I said, "I don't know." Well, what about the replay? I said, "That's Wells' department. I don't know. We'll have to watch it back later, I suppose."
We have a nice mix of who does what, Zach.
Yeah.
It works out.
It does.
On the OH report, I have a great mix of who does what, too. I talk, and Adam does everything.
That sounds awesome.
It's awesome.
We love Adam.
We love Adam. We've sat through some hoops games with him, and he makes your job really easy.
He does.
Straight steal attempt from Lukowski, but that ball fouled off by the catcher, Lapp. 1-1.
I did see Troy Shade out there.
I did too.
He's coming, I think, with some
sauce.
Hold on.
some super hot pepper butter. he
Troy
says.
still cooks hot dogs?
Well, no,
He
sometimes.
comes
Okay.
and watches.
But
But he's here today.
he's here today,
Yeah.
All right,
and that
that's all
pepper
that
butter
matters.
is brought to you by Whitaker Myers, our good friends over there for all the needs you have for the pepper butter and various other elements.
That's
trouble.
a single into left.
They're hitting the
and
ball well
another
now.
run plated by the Generals. Back it up.
They're hitting the ball well now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're seeing DeHenden here. He's not fooling them right now. And I think it's partially because he hasn't been able to get his off speed over for strikes, and so
Now batting
they're
number
sitting
22,
fastball. They're
the
sitting on
DH,
on a
Jordan.
spot.
Lighty.
You might want to give this guy a few steps.
Now, I say a hole hitter, Zach. Flew out to the left fielder and then rolled himself over 4-3 in his last at bat in the fourth. I think I'd challenge him. I know he's a big fella. I see what you're saying, but you're going to have to pick, and there you go. There's a bunt attempt and to perfection. Still nobody out.
It's a great play.
Hendon goes over to first. Yeah, it's a good play all the way around.
Yeah.
It's textbook baseball by head coach Steve Young. You've already played it one. Your 8-hole hitters up. You move them from second up to second and third. Maddox is hot. And then we get right back to the top of the lineup.
You sound angry about it. It's just great baseball by Wooster right there. So Coach Goff says we got to bring the infield in, and that's the right decision. You got a 9-hitter up. You got guys on second and third. You've already given up a run here. You can't afford to give up any more runs.
Grazer 1 for 2 on the day. He scored his last time at the dish. He was delivered that nice shot down the right side. Went with the pitch and singled in the right.
High and tight.
Well, when they're playing that
barbershop.
When they're playing this close in, you love to hit one hard to the infield too.
It's demoralizing.
It is.
That's going to get a run.
Oh,
That's
boy.
hit well.
That could
Yeah,
drop.
he did a nice job there.
That drops. That's 1 run's going to score. Head coach Steve Young at third base going to hold him up. But Lekowski comes across for the 6th run for the Generals. We're still at 1 out.
I tell you what, Frazier has 2 hits and several RBI. He has been a valuable piece of this Worcester Generals team, the 9-hitter. And again, you talk about it, guys, there are no easy outs in this lineup. And, you know, you get to the bottom of the lineup, you got Lighty who put down a sack bunt, did his job. Now you got the 9-hitter, a freshman comes up and ropes one into left field for a double.
Oh, by the way, you're back to the top.
What I loved about that at bat, you could see his textbook batting, like the way his hands were, the way he loads, like it was just, it's pretty, as he gets bigger and stronger, watch out.
No wasted motion.
Watch out for that young man.
You see all these guys come up to bat, all this wasted motion, all this stuff they don't need to be doing. Oh, man.
Another bullet up the middle. That's going to plate 2.
They are not going to cover up the ball now.
Meese does his job, and the Generals 8-3.
Piling them up now.
8? Am I missing something? Is it 7 or is it 8, boys? Either way, we are getting beat up.
Leaking oil. Head coach Rick Goff going to come out and likely make a pitching change. We'll be right back to tell you about it.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life.
Now the mound for the
It's a
Arrows.
pitching change. Justin
Number
Kaiser
1,
will come in with a
Justin
Linway
Kaiser.
pitching change. The call to the bullpen brought to you by Ashland's Linway Restaurant. Quality food and service since 1951. The senior coming on to try to get the Arrows out of a tough spot here in the 5th.
I believe it's Justin's dad gave me a beautiful tattoo
Oh, my.
on my arm. Hold Fast Tattoo Company.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that one that takes up most of the python?
Yeah, right there.
It's the best muscles money can buy right there.
That's right,
BW.
boy. You never skip. Listen, you never skip curls for the girls.
There it is.
You make that. I taught my son that lesson early in life. We put the weight room in the basement. I said, "Listen, son. No matter every time you come down here, I want you working out, but you gotta hit the curls."
Why do you think I have 2 20s in my office?
It's
Something
right.
tells me
Gotta hit the curls.
Something tells me the superintendent's listening to this and just turned it off.
Yeah.
Not knowing what's coming next.
Gotta
well,
hit the
look,
curls.
guys, Kaiser coming in, and the Arrows need to get out of this inning. I mean, it has. There's been a domino effect. And this Generals team's a good baseball team. They're a really good hitting team. We held them for a couple innings, and unfortunately, Tyler Holt just threw too many pitches, and so we had to go to the bullpen earlier than we wanted, and in a spot where it was a challenge. Anytime you bring in a young pitcher with guys on base in a pressure situation, it's not ideal, right? I mean, I'm not making excuses by any means. I'm just saying it's not an ideal situation, and we just had a tough spot. So here we are. The Arrows need to find a way to get out of this.
Worcester's working on a pair of back-to-back singles, but this inning started off with an E5, and then 2 singles back-to-back, a sack bunt, 2 singles back-to-back, and here we find ourselves a runner on first and Winge at the plate.
Well, Chris, we talked about the keys to the game, the Whitaker-Meyer keys to the game, and I said, they had to play a clean game, and that has not happened. Too many walks and
Nobody's talking about
too many errors, and too many walks, too many errors, and now you got a little bit of a mental error right there. And just like that, you can hear Wooster. They are really feeling it. Now, early on, the Arrows were feeling it. Now, you can't roll over. You got 3 more at-bats to go here for the Arrows. You got 9 more outs.
Blasted straight up in the air. Summers calling everybody off. He is in fair territory. That's a fair ball, and that is going to be another general at first base.
And technically, that's a hit
That
because
is a
it
hit.
didn't hit anybody's glove.
that's a
Tough high ball right there in a high sky. And the Arrows unfortunately put another guy on base.
The
And
real
now,
ruling on that, Zach, is you can't
Now
assume
batting
the
the
ball
right fielder,
caught
number
because it didn't hit his
17,
glove.
Aiden
I know it
McMillan.
doesn't make any sense, but
that's baseball.
there you go. That's-
That's Dallas.
Someone asked me the
Runner's
other day.
going.
Oh, jeez. Someone asked me the other day. Ethan's 2 years out of high school. Hey, do you miss it? Do you miss it? I said I miss Friday nights in the fall. I miss Friday nights in the fall. I don't know if I miss this.
Well, the dad part of all of us, whenever we have these kinds of, you just want so badly for them to do well.
Pull it down the line. That ball's fair. That's 2 more runs, and the Generals are frankly unconscious at the plate.
They're just tearing the cover off
We
the ball.
think it's 10-3, right, Chris?
It is 10-3.
Okay. Well, our scoreboard has 9-3 right now, but either way, we are in trouble. And now you're staring down a potential run rule if you give up a few more here. You only got 1 out.
What's run rule in high school now?
10 after 5.
10 after 5, yeah. The way they're hitting the ball, absolutely. I mean, you hate to take anything away from Worcester, but they just, like you said at the beginning at the broadcast, hit the ball, put in play, put pressure on the other team.
Yep.
And as soon as we made a pitching change, really, frankly, before, they've been smacking the ball around the park.
And a hit by pitch.
And there you go. Like, you make a mistake against Worcester right there, they make you pay right away. Like, you throw the ball inside on me, I'm going to get plunked and take this easy base.
Make sure you stay tuned for the Janny.com post-game show. It'll be a quick one today at this rate. With the rain coming in, it looks like, too. It does look like there's rain coming. I looked at the radar here on the truly inspired paper company radar.
Generals at first and second. Brady Bowen, who led the inning off with that sharply hit grounder at third base, getting his second hack of the day. Second hack of the inning, sorry. It's a long day for the announcers, too. Or a long inning.
All
Whatever
the
your
above.
fancy.
All the above.
Park looks good, though.
Park looks beautiful. It's a palace here at Archer Arrows Park, Bud Plank Field.
Akron commit Bowen. Does not get cheated up there, BW, less than 2 strikes.
I thought that was headed towards the Sarver Paving $7 Creek, but this beautiful facility kept it in play. Yeah, he doesn't get cheated up there, and that's the thing. When you get up 9-3, now you're playing loose, 10-3, right? You're playing loose, and so everything becomes so much easier to do, especially at the plate, because you've got a couple of bats, you've had a couple hits, now the pressure's off.
Arrows with another pitcher getting loose in the pen, left-hander. I'm not certain who that is.
I think it's Noah Merrill is
Okay.
my guess.
Okay.
I'm looking. There it is. You can see him out there faintly.
Yeah, that's Merrill. You're right.
Our camera likes to focus on the net in front of us. It's so
too
good.
good of a
It's
camera.
too good of a camera.
Literally, no joke. Kaiser on now, working with 8 pitches thrown. Bowen at the plate with a 2-2 count. 1-0.
It is cooling off even more.
Scoreboard fixed now. 10 runs up there.
I know what that means. That was you just making sure that I knew you were right. I know what that was.
We've been doing this together a long time. Well played, young man.
There we go.
Hey, double play
Double
to
play.
get us out of the inning. Just what the doctor ordered. The Arrows need hats for bats, and they need to take the hats off the bats and get some knocks.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. done right on time. With free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
We tell you all the time, folks, Comfort Control sponsors each inning. The bottom of the fifth, no exception. Wooster just hung a sixth spot, the top of the fifth. The off-air conversation is Emmy-worthy, especially when VOTF is on the mic with us.
Well, it may be more like an Oscar.
Yeah,
You know,
I always say Emmy. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean.
What's the award that Harvard gives out for like the worst performance of the year?
Oh, those are great.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what we would win.
I can't remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. That maybe us talking about it right now is going to give us one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tinderwolf gets his second crack of the day off of Bo, and he flew out to second base.
What's that
Razor.
award that they give for bad broadcasting?
I always admire the actors and actresses actually show up and pick up the award.
Oh, it's great because you know what? Everybody makes a dud every now and then. It's just the same thing in broadcasting. It's the same thing in music.
A good hit.
Fly
Come on,
ball to
get down.
center field.
That's going
He's
down.
tracking that.
Oh,
That's a
nice
can
play.
of corn. Fly out to 8 for the first out of the
I
inning.
mean, quick read, great route, right at it. Good job out there.
Good
at center.
athlete.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, like, everybody lays an egg. And sometimes it's as a team, right? Sometimes it's as a musician. Sometimes, whatever. You give a bad presentation at work. I'm sure Chris has never done that.
No.
But he wouldn't admit to one.
Oh, you got that right.
I made one, and that was when I was about 21, but not since. Well, I just got asked if I want dinner.
Here we go.
There's a
Here
Bud
we
Plank
go.
field.
Here we go.
Wow. Bronze.
That's a single.
That's a Bud Plank hop for you.
There's the replay on the
take
Sarver
it.
paving replay. Look at this
Absolutely.
hop. Whoa, almost took his head. Nielsen, lucky he didn't lose his eyeball there.
That's a single. What was that, Gunner?
I don't know what's happening right
What was that? Was that the walk-up music? Who is it? Drake? I don't know. Boy, Hickey with it. All-timer
Oh,
broadcaster stumper
and
walk-up.
are you guys surprised Bowen's still on the mound?
Nope.
Nah.
Really?
No.
Pitch count's only at 71.
He
They're not
doesn't
going to
wanna
play
come
the
out of
next
game,
couple
man.
days, too, with the weather.
Oh, you don't think they're playing tomorrow no matter what?
I would be surprised.
I was going to look at the weather. You doing it?
No?
Okay, I got it.
So the Arrows might see him twice.
No.
The Golden Raspberries. The Raspberry Awards.
The Razzies, yeah, the
Razzies.
Razzies. There we go. That's a
Yeah.
hit.
That
Oh,
is a
tough
hit.
one. That
Yep.
is a hit.
That is a hit.
All right, boys.
Here we go.
Arrows needed
Here
it,
we
and they're
go.
getting
Come
it.
on, guys.
Work it
Back-to-back
back.
singles.
Work
Chip
it.
away.
Yep.
Chip away.
You can't get them all back here in one swing, Chris. So you just have to take your time and stay within
95%
yourself.
rain tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Did they give him an error on that?
They shouldn't have. That's a hit.
No, I'm not giving him an error. No,
that's a hit.
not a hit.
That's not a hit?
That's a hit. That's not an error. I said it backwards, but
Okay.
that's a hit.
But they put it
well, doesn't
as
matter.
an error.
Yeah, it's a
That
hit.
is a hit.
Gris
Good swing.
back behind it and drives that one into $7 Creek.
Sarver Paving, $7 Creek.
It has cooled off, boys.
Oh, I can't feel my hands.
Really?
No, I can't. I was just exaggerating.
Oh, that sounds like little. Whoa,
told
that
you.
was cold.
I told
man. Gris looks at that spinner pitch.
guys
My
are soft.
goodness.
So the truth is, I have really bad circulation, and so my hands get really cold. I mean, and Chris just felt it.
Yeah, that was
He's like, "Please don't ever touch me like that again."
Oh,
well outside, but a tremendous receiving of the
Sometimes
ball
when
by
we
Lap.
touch-
Good God.
It's 10-3, Chris.
Well, this
The
is still
ADHD kicks in,
this
and
is
it's
still a ball.
I'm aware.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to see how it gets with both of us when the contest is over, watch basketball and listen.
See, that's the beauty of wrestling.
There's no downtime.
There's no downtime, and you could have a blowout, and trust me, it's going to be over real quick.
Got a chance.
Come on,
got a
fair.
chance.
That's fair.
Just foul down that left field line. Arrow's dugout was getting excited down there, and Merrill's still warming up, I believe, in the pen.
That is the beauty of calling wrestling matches, because you call a bunch in one day, and you have 10 different competitions in front of you in one day.
I'll tell you, Brandon, I did a wrestling match. That student one was Zach, and I just hosted it. And Zach did basically all the analysis. And as the match was going on, basically the play-by-play, I just kind of sat there. And I'll tell you, man, like, that's an art. Like, it is nonstop.
Yeah.
And I did point out when he butchered words. You'll be proud to know.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you to do on the
He
air.
would think nothing else. But, yeah, Gris just about catches the top of a general helmet.
Good
But that
here.
is legit. Like, it's nonstop. And if you don't know what you're looking at, it's like, oh, a cradle into a suplex, into a monkey dunk.
I would love to see a cradle into a suplex. That would be
WWF.
Into the figure four.
Yeah.
Here we go, guys. 2 on, 1 out, and you got a chance here to get a couple back.
Come on, guys.
He went.
Gris offered,
Oh.
and that is a
Tough pitch. What
Strikeout.
a pitch. I mean, there was so much movement on that pitch going away, and Gris just couldn't hold off. Tough one right there. And that's, that's a hat tip to the pitcher. Sometimes the pitcher gets you, and that was a beautiful pitch with 2 strikes.
Arrow still at first and second base. Cleanup hitter A.J. Workman 0 for 2 on the day. Couple strikeouts. Steps in. We could really use a big knock right here. Going to work him away, and he works him to start the AB in the left-handed batter's box. Called strike one.
So you'll see it on the Sarver paving replay. That was way outside. Not even close.
If he'd have been in the other batter's box, it'd have hit him.
There's a bullet,
Oh, what a
and that's
stop.
a
Nice play.
tremendous
One.
play by Winge to retire Workman on a blistered 100-mile-an-hour velo ball.
But they make tough plays look routine, don't they?
10-3, Generals.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right on time. With free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Couple changes for head coach Rick Goff. New third baseman Isaac Abel takes over at third base. And Noah Dennis, new left fielder, takes over for Nick Mangus. Still on the mound is Kaiser, working to A.J. Litkowski, flared off into the right side. And having a bead on that one is Hickey.
One pitch, 1 out. That's what you like to see right there. I think if you're the Generals, you also are looking at that forecast and saying we better swing early and get rolling because we want to get this one in.
Yeah.
And not have to deal with any weather. There's
okay
a little
with
bit of action down there in the Wooster pen. I don't know if it's just somebody getting loose and doing a little bullpen or if somebody's getting ready to come in. Bowen, has I think around 80 pitches.
If it gets called because of weather, it's an official game
It
now.
is. It is. Yeah, but you want to finish it,
Yeah.
Brian Lapp steps in.
Is it? Or do we have a pinch hitter?
No, that's Lapp.
Oh,
The
yeah,
catcher.
sorry. I didn't know what the umpire was doing, why he
Who
stepped
knows?
out. Change up and a beauty.
Giancarlo Stanton batting gloves. He features a beautiful pink, blue, chartreuse-colored
I
fishing
like it.
lure green
I like the style.
and straight yellow on his wrists.
I'm chartreuse with envy.
1 for 3 on the day, scored a couple runs and a single his last plate appearance.
So is Diane Dane. That's a line from a movie Chris has never seen, no doubt.
Which one?
That Thing You Do.
I've seen that.
Have you? Well, it's one of my favorites. That's a Gary Wells favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
You ever seen it with Tom Hanks?
Oh yeah. With the boy band thing, right?
Yeah, they have a one-hit wonder.
Like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
goofy
The Oneaters.
title.
Yeah.
The goofy title of the name, movie name. I figured you were going to say like something about Mary was one of your favorites.
What about Brett Favre?
With the teeth.
Brett Favre. Yeah, it's there's some lines.
What'd
in
you
that
think
one.
about We're the Millers?
Never saw it.
Oh my God.
Ed Helms.
What?
We're the Millers.
That's a great movie.
It's
Is it?
fantastic.
Oh.
It's great.
I think
It's-
that.
Yeah, Jason
Yeah.
Sudeikis.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Sudeikis and
Sudeikis.
Aniston.
I do love
So funny.
Sudeikis.
Yeah.
It's a terrific movie.
I have no problems with her either. Yeah.
Meanwhile, that ball fouled off into $7 Creek. We're about $54 in the board budget.
I'm not on that board anymore.
56.
Don't worry about that anymore, do we, Wells? You don't worry about
I mean,
that.
it's our tax buddy, but it's not my job to take care of it.
That one's popped up into the infield. Summers
have it.
loses his lid again, gives chase, and makes a Randy Moss-esque
Well done, young man.
athletic play
Yeah.
to retire.
Well done, young man. Stay with it. He struggled on one earlier. He fought it back. The wind is whipping around on those pop-ups. That ball in the air, everything's an adventure. Good job by Trent to just track it down and make the play.
Number 24 going to hit for himself now. Lighty going to get a seat on the pine, and the younger Bowen, Brock Bowen, going to get a
Now
hat
pitch
here
hitting
with the
for
Generals up 10-3.
Number 24, Brock Bowen.
I'll tell you what, I go back to big plays in this game, and Lighty's sack bunt last inning
That was it.
massive.
That really kind of pushed him over the edge. I mean,
Yeah.
the game's not over, don't get me wrong. You still got 6 outs left to go for the Arrows at the plate, but that was a huge play. If I were picking a Bo Lacey construction play of the game, it was the Lighty sack bunt out of that 8-hole, because then Frazier came up and just ripped one and got everybody else in. Bo Lacey construction, experience you can trust, done right on time.
Yeah, I'm going with the Frazier double. That's my play of the game. Chicks dig the long ball. All right, I love the big hits.
Justin Dew, flashing mitt over there, known as a batting glove. That was a saucer hit into the pin or the
Barehanded
dugout, and barehanded that thing, saved his.
Didn't flinch
Nose,
either. Look at
no.
that. Look at that. Didn't flinch.
It hurt, dude. We know. We see you.
He's winning the Iron Jockstrap Award for the day.
Look at the scarecrow, Zach. I know you want to talk about that. Look at the artillery that he's wearing. He looks like he's ready for war
But
in
you think it's
Iceland.
50 to blow out here?
Like he's ready for war in Iceland. He's got a hood.
Well, we might have one in
stocking cap.
Greenland soon.
No, we're just going to take that over.
Now, hey, you've heard the story of my
Yeah,
high school coach, right?
mittens.
You guys heard the story of my high school coach, right? The short sleeves and the shorts in the
November.
November, in the
Did you hear
playoffs.
what Will Howard said about the guys at Tennessee this week and
yeah.
coming
He
out
didn't
with
care
no?
much. I do want Will Howard on the Cleveland Browns.
I'd be all right with that.
Yeah,
He'd
I
be a
do.
good fit for
I
that
do.
team.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Walked him on 4.
Well, not on 4. He was a full count.
Oh, I guess I was pontificating about the scarecrow in there. Missed
Next
a couple
up,
of them.
There's another
Number
look over at our
37,
bench.
Maddox Razor.
Assistant coach Justin Dew there, closest to the camera, and assistant coach AJ Beer, who looks like he's got a sleeping bag underneath that jacket around his head.
Poor Beer. Poor Beersy.
Maddox Grazier.
Were you all right there?
No, 2
Frazier,
for 3
isn't
on the
it?
day. No, it's Grazier.
I've been
with a
calling
G.
him the wrong name then. It's
okay.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry to the Maddox family.
Soon to be all OCC
This kid's
player.
going to be really good. He already is really good.
He's really good.
My apologies. Now I feel like a fool. It's appropriate.
Going to get a pinch runner.
We're getting a raspberry for this broadcast.
You're getting the Razzie.
We're getting a Razzie, man. We are getting a Razzie.
Coach Young getting a lot of his reserves in the contest as well. Pinch runner at first base.
It is Grazer. You're right. I didn't believe you. I'm sorry, Grazer family.
It's getting dark, too.
Micah Martinez, the junior, going to run for Bowen.
Oh, and he got him.
Oh, we got him. Oh, come on, guys. Come on.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He just about launched that one, and Chris needs to throw the baseball.
He's safe.
Oh,
my.
man.
Oh, boy.
We were lucky to keep him at first.
Well, the key with a rundown is to throw as few tosses as possible. And at a minimum, you pushed him back to the base.
It's a win. I mean, look
Yeah,
at the
So
end of the
you
day,
got
it's
him
a
back
win.
to the base, and now
Pinch
Coach
running
Dew
for
is
the
going to come
Generals,
out.
Number 21, Micah Martinez.
We're going to take a quick break and be right back right after this.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
I think you caused a delay.
No, we're good. We're good here. Oh, the off-air broadcast is better, people, especially if we're talking about winning raspberries for the real one. Runner at first is Martinez at the dish.
Grazer.
Grazer. 2-1 count. Couple outs here. Generals lead 10-3. 10 runs on 8 hits. In motion is Martinez, and he's out. Retired on the throw out. That was a gimme call, I think.
That score and that temperature, unless you're safe by a mile, you're out.
We'll be right back.
Glad to be back here in the Pre-Dental broadcast booth, Chris, with the VOTF.
Forever to be known as.
You guys are both going to get dunked before I leave here.
I want no part of that. I will not call you that again, my friend.
You chicken. You're such a wimp.
No, a man must know his limitations. That's what Clint Eastwood said, right? I mean, a man's got to know his limitations.
That's right.
New pitcher on for the Generals, number 31, Lucas Shiplett. Not to be confused with Shipley of Ohio State golf lore. Last year's low am at Augusta National.
No one cares about that, really.
Well, I think there's a
Come
lot
on.
to do.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I do.
Great outing by Bowen, who had one bad inning, and other than that, was really
Dominant.
really good today. A lot of Sid Sud strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mentioned he was not only the pitcher, but he's the unquestioned leader on this team. And, man, he got them going in both their big innings. He got them going.
Yeah.
Frankly, he got punched in the mouth in one inning, right? He gave up 3 spots. He did not back down, bared down, and got his team going again.
And he goes right to shortstop. And he's off the mound.
They didn't panic. Worcester didn't panic when they got down. And
Right.
that's a veteran team. It's outside. Wow. Surprised.
It's a veteran team, but how many underclassmen are they starting? They got a freshman in the lineup.
Yeah, but when you have those, when you have that good mix of veteran guys, you can have some of those guys, those younger guys filling in because the culture's set, right? You've got the culture. You've got the guys that are going to bring those young men up, those young guys, and teach them and accept them as part of the team. That's the big thing, right? We talked about it a lot when I coached was like, look, seniors are going to lead by example, but they're also going to lead by not just example, but by talking to those guys. Because leading by example is not enough. You actually have to have conversations. You have to be a positive influence on them verbally. And you need to set that tone early on.
Noah Dennis gets a pinch hit AB here for Nick Mangus.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said culture.
Well, and I never
B-Wells.
liked the idea of trouble.
Shot. Bowen feeds it off. 6-4. Nope.
I never liked the idea of making the underclassmen feel less than. I think that's an old approach that doesn't work. And I'm not saying any of our guys do. I just mean it's really important to make sure that, the servant leadership idea that your seniors actually are serving. Hey, how can I help these guys get better? It's not about me. It's about us collectively.
Could not agree with you more. I grew up in a small town, and we had that, underclassmen were, the punching bag, so to speak.
Yeah.
When I got to AU, I had some seniors really take me under their wing as a young guy, and it was a different, like you said, a different culture. And that's what I believe in what you're saying there.
Pepper butter. Yes, sir.
Hot.
Now listen. If you're a freshman, that doesn't mean you get to come in, just run your mouth. You speak when you're spoken to.
That's correct.
But
you want to be yourself. You want those guys to be themselves because that's when they're going to be comfortable and they're going to perform. So you don't want them to not feel like they can be who they are. Because I've been in that situation too back, on some teams. It was like, I didn't feel comfortable being myself.
You're only going to be as successful when the whole team pulls the rope in the same direction and there's no nonsense and no infighting and no this class free, that class. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
That is correct, sir.
Isaac Abel gets a pinch hit AB here, and he's up in the count.
Football, baseball, basketball, the entire team either walks off all winners or all losers that day.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
And so you can decide to work together, and the point of this whole conversation is what the three of us see is Wooster has that kind of mentality, that culture that can be attributed to their head coach and the culture he's built there and continues to.
We talked
push.
A lot about that, Zach, in the fall here at Community Stadium with head coach Scott Valentine, and that is on display all the time. If you come and watch Arrow football, everyone yanks that rope the same direction, and they're all excited to be there, and they take direction from their staff and whatnot.
Look at Mr. Summers bringing us some fantastic dogs.
Whose seat did you take on the board, Truax's or Wells?
This is nice to meet you.
Whew, I can't wait to dive into this. This is great. Oh, yeah, I'm hungry. Troy dogs.
Jake Bryant at the dish. 0 for 2 on the day. Little flare off the right side. Nielsen, left-handed first baseman, giving chase and finds that in his mitt. 2 outs.
Who are these Troy dogs brought to us by, my friend?
Whitaker Myers.
Yes, sir. You got that right.
Troy dogs with triple noise. You want some hot pepper butter? Or
it's on week. It's on there.
Oh, that's got to be JV level.
So, what year is Wolf now?
Wolf's a junior.
Let's look at that.
He's filling out. He's filling out nicely.
Yeah.
He's developed physically, and he's a heck of a catcher back there.
He does a good job of calling a good game and keeping the ball in front of himself. Wells is done talking, just so you know. He's eating. I got tacos and tequila coming to the house. Nobody believes that. No, they don't. If they've listened to us, they know you'll be back pontificating. Tremendous play by the freshman Grazer. Wow, good play by the young man.
So good.
Arrows Strand 2, 10-3 Generals.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
You ready? I'm ready. You ready to rock and roll? Yeah. We're live, Zach.
That pepper butter was pretty good.
It was delicious.
That was pretty
What
awesome.
level of heat?
I would say that was
JV?
a 5.
That
Yeah,
was-
JV level?
that
It's
was
JV. But Troy said
tasty.
Troy's here, and he has some extra, he said.
Leading
for
off the
us.
top of the 7th for Wooster.
Like outrageous, I think.
Can you handle that outrageous level of heat?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, he's from Loudonville.
I know where he's from.
The Ville, baby.
They grow them tough down there.
Well, it depends who you ask.
Well,
My
they did in the 90s, apparently. I don't know.
In the 90s.
My grandfather made this dish called pepper kosh, and that stuff was the hottest thing I'd ever tasted in my life at that point.
I love paprikash, and I've had it at a couple of Barberton chicken places. Barberton chicken up in Summit County is a little different. It's made by, there's several different chicken houses, and that's what they call them, right? And it is...
Here's a strikeout.
It is Slovakian ladies that are back there. Literally, they don't speak any English. And it's
Really?
cooked in lard.
Now batting for the
Yum.
Generals,
And
number
it is
2,
awesome.
Hayden
So
Neese.
I know they're not a sponsor or anything, but Belgrade's should
Well,
be.
we are going to Bay Village. And it's not on the way, but
It's not
maybe...
even remotely
Not even
on the
close.
way.
I mean, it's
Do you
going
own a
to
map?
Talking about
Do you own a map?
Hey,
No, I don't.
Magellan, what are you talking about?
Bay Village? You
Just
might
'cause
as well
it
just talk
start-
about going to some place in Columbus.
Because it starts with a B.
It's start north.
Not even the same.
You don't even... Well, we drive
Vicinity.
somewhere, you don't even listen to the GPS. We're late half the time because you're like, oh, it's supposed to turn left.
You sound like my wife.
I sold my truck, so it's getting picked up tomorrow. So
Uh-oh. Is the import going to be in action?
it is. And
Okay.
I might have to go visit our friends at Bill Harris later this summer. We'll see.
Well, the import will be ready to go. There's
Oh, it's a tough play.
That's a hit.
Thereby.
Oh, that's a hit. That's a really tough play. Big hop. Yeah, that's a hit. Maybe not at the college level, but really, Jake had a tough play on that backhand, and it
Hit.
came up. There's a lot of top spin on that ball coming up.
Now batting for
I'm
the
probably going to
Generals
get
is
yelled at.
shortstop,
2 for 4
number
on the
5,
day is
Ben
Meese. A couple
Winge.
runs scored. That'll bring up Ben Winge.
Yeah, Wooster hits the ball hard. If there's a play in the infield,
got
there
him.
we got him. Come on, come on.
He's out. Thank you. Too hot.
Do you like JV level 2? Heat? Oh, a 2 level. Freshman.
Well, I'll tell you what, base runner did the right thing right there, though, by just keep going.
Yeah.
But good job by the Arrows to get the out.
2 outs.
His teammates in the dugout would concur. Just keep going. Let's get out of here.
They want to go on the
Probably
bus.
would. Chris, do you want half of this?
No, I'm good. I'm getting tacos and tequila coming.
They're up 10-3 bunting.
Yeah,
I love Worcester, man.
that is something, man.
That's why I
That'll
love
get you-
beating them.
Listen, back in my day,
That gets you hit.
That's going to get you one in the ear. I'm not condoning that, just to be clear.
Yeah, but I all the years watching Aero Sports,
Coach Steve Young.
that's the kind of things that I like.
I love it.
That's why I like to beat Wooster.
Yep, I love it. I love it all the way around.
That's where, maybe the next one is a barbershop, 419 barbershop, high and tight.
Would have been.
Kids don't think like that anymore, though. Well, they just,
They should.
And they should watch Major League Baseball on TV.
He put a charge on that one, though.
Kaiser ahead in the count, 1-2. 2 outs.
You never want anybody to get hurt or anything. I mean, there's no doubt. But, man, bunting with...
I think you don't want anyone to get injured.
What would Bob Gibson have done in that situation? Would you like to pontificate on that for about 3 seconds? Do you know that they made the mound lower because of him, Zach?
Yeah, well, he had a 1.12 ERA.
At everywhere but Bud Plankfield.
No,
they
it's
made the mound
regulation now. They fixed
that's
it.
right. That's right. We fixed that going in our kids' senior year.
I think it was Gibson who told Tim McCarver, who came out to ask him to talk to him, and he said, "You get your butt back behind the plate. The only thing you know about pitching is you can't hit it."
I always loved it. Tommy Lasorda gave an interview one time about hitting a guy, and he says, "I wouldn't have hit this. If I wouldn't have hit baklava or something like that. That guy couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat."
Generals retired. Arrows down to their last 3 outs. They trail by 7.
Back here as we head to the bottom of the 7th, the Arrows 3 outs away from their first loss, unless something miraculous happens.
Unless we get a quiver of runs.
It would be a large, large quiver. And the Arrows had a 3 spot back in the 3rd, but other than that have been held quiet.
The Arrows, number 55, Tyler.
Tyler Sauter going to get an AB for leadoff hitter and first-team OCC member Michael Franz. Tyler Sauter getting ready to play in an all-star football game. AU commit going to play his football right up the street. First pitch in, ball 1.
Playing in not a all-star game. He's playing in the all-star game.
The North-South game, right?
The big one.
Or is it East-West?
I don't know what it is, but it's the best of Ohio.
It's the PA at Ohio, right?
It's all Ohio guys.
Okay.
It's a North-South, East-West, whatever, Ohio guys. But it is the all-star game. There's other all-star games, but that is the all-star game.
7th inning brought to you by Comfort Control. All your heating and plumbing and cooling and all of what you might need.
Jenny postgame show comes up after this half inning unless the Arrows are able to mount a large comeback and score 7 or 8 to walk it off. Check out Rich Sturry, experienced professionals in Mansfield for all your financial advice and needs. Rich had a big day today. Market was up bigly.
Number 27.
Well, it went down so far it had to come back up at some point.
Listen, my man Rich Sturry does not get rattled by much. He big day, little day, nothing bothers him.
There's reasons for that, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, historically, right? You look at the market; it always goes up.
He's been through it all and seen it all.
You calling him old?
No, I'm experienced. The kind of
Experienced
person,
professionals you can trust.
Yeah,
Check out Rich Sturry at Janny.com.
You guys don't need to yell at me. Man,
the kind of experience you want managing your money.
that is correct.
Did you know Zach does not believe in the stock market?
That it exists? Because it does exist.
I believe it exists.
Are you against gambling?
No, I love Vegas. The reason I gamble in Vegas, not the stock market, is nice hustle.
Good.
Vegas has more rules.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's thinking 401k. You're just giving your money to the mafia.
Come on, I got a retirement plan.
Batting for the Arrows.
This is everything's.
Truex printing when he gets.
Yeah, well, that's part
Retired.
of it. That's part of it.
Bonds and that kind of
Yeah,
CDs
yeah,
and all
yeah,
those
yeah,
kinds of things.
I got all that garbage.
Fast ball moving up to second
Now-
base. Merrill.
Now my son, he loves the stock market, man. He's on it. He's a day trader, or whatever you call.
Wow.
That's dangerous.
He's a stock market dude.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Day trading is a good way to lose money.
Thanks for that insight.
Yeah,
Welcome.
It's also a good way to make money. It's a gamble, right?
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm not doing it.
I don't do it.
You got to be a
Listen, if you wanted to buy a day trader, you buy a Tesla at 221 earlier this week, and you just let it rip at 280. Ground
Yeah.
ball to the right side.
Pass.
Guess who? Grazer.
That is a hard pass for me.
Well, if you
Man,
don't like 50s, that's what it went up today. You don't have to buy it.
I tell you what,
I like the electric cars.
Grazer has got a bright future in front of him, doesn't he?
He does.
Man, that kid's good.
Kid is
He
gonna
can
be,
hit. I'd
Yeah.
be surprised he doesn't switch to shortstop next year after
Well,
Bowen's gone, right?
I think that's probably the natural progression unless you got somebody else there. He's got to continue to develop and get stronger, and that's part of the process. I mean, you got a 14-year-old kid playing second base basically at the varsity level, and he is kind of kicking butt and taking names here
He's
today.
playing like he's 18.
Yeah.
Well, let's
I
just
love it.
go-
As a guy who grew up as a smaller guy, like for me, that I always am looking out for those guys.
Maddox Grazer is our what, Zach?
Truex Printing Player of the Game.
Check out Zach Truex and his team at Truex Printing with offices in Ashland and Loudonville for all your commercial printing needs. Coloring books, business cards, banners for the outfield fence. They got it all.
Short run catalogs now are big for us.
Oh, my.
Really?
Taking off like crazy. You wouldn't believe.
People are making catalogs again?
People making catalogs again, but the beauty is we have a brand new HP 7K digital press to go along with our Plotmatic digital bindery. So-
that sounded French to a lot of people. I knew what it meant, but Wells, you confused him
Well,
right out of the gate.
Plotmatic is a European
It's a
company.
brand.
Yeah, it's a
like
brand.
Heidelberg.
I wasn't
Yeah.
listening anyway.
And doing with the beauty of the internet, we're doing catalogs for people all over the country.
That's really cool. Maddox
That's
Razor,
awesome.
2 for 4 on the day, couple runs scored, played lockdown defense, and he is our Truex Printing Player of the Game. The play of the game brought to us by our friends at Bo Lacey Construction. Experience you can trust, done right on time.
Well, we've got a couple different thoughts on that, right? I mean, I've got Leidy's sack bunt that put guys in scoring position that kind of broke this one open in the 5th. That ball's hit well to
Nice
left.
hit.
Workman drives it
Come
to
on,
left
it's over his
field,
head.
And
Nice
a
play,
can of
kid.
corn retired, and the General's going to be victorious in this one, just as we run out of daylight, 10-3. And then, Zach, you wanted to highlight this one for the play of the game as well.
Yeah, Maddox, how you say it last
Grazer.
name? Maddox Grazer, the double smoked to left center after the sack bunt, clears the bases, and just the foot was on the gas pedal, right? If you've ever been around me at any kind of sporting event, I'm always yelling that. Keep your foot on the gas pedal. Don't give your opponent any oxygen to breathe.
My gosh, I've heard that before.
And when Wooster got their foot on the gas pedal, man, they just kept it on.
Well, look, guys, the Arrows take a 3-0 lead in the 3rd, and we thought, okay, this looks a little different.
Yeah.
But we gave up a 4 spot in the 4th. We donated ourselves in the 4th.
Yeah.
Then we give up 6 big runs in the 5th, and, we're not able to play it anymore, and the Arrows ultimately lose 10-3.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one against a really good team. And, you had your opportunities early on, and if you don't take advantage and put up multiple innings with some numbers, then you're going to be in trouble like that. And, a hat tip to the Generals. They're the better team today.
Yep.
And, the Arrows have an opportunity. The beauty of baseball is you have another opportunity tomorrow, weather
Friday.
permitting, but probably Friday and then Saturday. So you've got opportunities. If the Arrows don't play the Generals tomorrow, it's going to be on Saturday. They're supposed to play Findlay. We'll have that one either way, whether it's Findlay or Wooster. And then Friday we'll be back here for the Arrows in Clear Fork.
Yeah, really excited about that. And who knows what the schedule looks like. Hey, check out Twitter, at Coach Wells, at Mallory Chris, and we'll have you covered. If the Arrows are going to play, we'll be here to bring it to you. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate you having me on.
Oh, man, so much fun being on with you guys, calling a game again.
You're always welcome here.
Absolutely.
That's always
Thank
fun.
you.
Come up
I
anytime.
appreciate that, guys. I really do. I have so much fun with you guys up here and watching the game and listening to your insights because, like I said, I was a baseball dad and a baseball fan, never a baseball player, so I'm always loving to learn a little bit more about the sport now. I always do when I'm hanging out with you guys. And I just want to touch on something Brandon said. There's always tomorrow. And I had a coach over the summer, all-star coach one time, tell me, what happened in the last match and yesterday has zero effect on what happens on this one unless you let it affect you. And so I think
How true is that to life, right?
so
because
true.
We have bad days and we have bad weeks and we have bad times and there's bad, but that's what these kids should be learning from playing sports. Not to sound too cliched or coach speak, but that's what happens. Sometimes you get beat by a better team. There's always somebody better than you. Always, yeah. And the best team is the one that wins on the scoreboard. And like you said, Wooster was the better team today. That has no effect on the next time Ashland plays them. Now, Wooster made tough plays look routine. Yeah.
And Ashland made tough plays look tough. And I think that was, especially in the field, that was the biggest difference, right? Like they made, like Chris, you pointed out a couple times, the first baseman comes over for Wooster, and he makes a really tough play when it's a pop-up in the air. And that's, like you said, that's an almost impossible play. And we make 2 of those, and they make all of them. And we had some hard-hit balls at their infielders that they made tough plays on, and we didn't.
Well, our keys to the game brought to you by Whitaker Myers were that the Arrows had to play a clean game because you're playing a better team and a better pitcher, right? And we didn't play a clean game. Too many errors, a couple mental mistakes. And Tyler Holt battled. He just didn't have his best stuff today as far as control, and that happens.
Yeah, and if you leave it across the plate on these guys, it's going to take a trip the other direction.
For Wickham and Hess, second inning guests, Zach Truax and Brandon Wells. I'm Chris Mowry. Take us home, BW.
God bless, Godspeed, and go Arrows.
Go Arrows. Good job, guys.